people bawling for pain and hunger, inflation, cost of living higher. Can't get no daily bread. So the youth them on top the hill, somehow their bread basket don't fill. Oh no, no, so they turn to crime instead. The arms of the state disappointed, still their salaries are daunted. Large increase in the fiscal budget, oil money reach a all-time high. Don't buy no jet for so much of money when the hospitals are in need. Poor people at everyone's mercy, so the hill reacting indeed. Oh no, 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 no. Yeah, the people cry, yeah, yeah, yeah. The hills are alive in a different way. Them who take in we money must pay for it dearly one day. Could we rise again come what may? Yeah. How could we truly excel in the midst of all this suffering? Oh my Trinidad. No, 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 no. Tell me, like Shadow said, poverty is hell, so it seems like the devil is king. Oh my Trinidad. Oh my Trinidad. No, 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 no. Cocaine and guns in the heart of the ghetto is what we sow, we shall reap tomorrow. Who are we going to blame? Even school children doing crime, well, that is a sign of the time. Oh, my lord, have we now gone insane? Whilst we kill, we own one by one. Skyscrapers going up in town. Chinese laborers at the core. This new city some shall see no more. So we have to hold on to CPEP 10 days and must to get along. Scraping the bottom of the barrel with all this money in town. My Lord, the hills are alive in a different way. You have to do more for the people. Better wages to ease we struggle. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Could we rise again come what may? Yeah. In this abundance of wealth, still the poor people cannot cope. Oh my Trinidad and Tobago, it is a stark reality. So much have given up hope. Oh my Trinidad, oh my Trinidad and Tobago. Oh my, oh no, oh no. Some turn to vagrants in the city, homeless children begging have mercy, Lord. Child abuse have risen again. Look like Jean and Dinah come back in tongue. The girls and them singing the song. To survive by any means necessary, dignity gone down the drain. Some say the leaders have failed to do right for one and for all. When there is an imbalance of the scale, then the writing is on the wall. If you ignore the plight of the people, well, the devil shall intervene. It's only divine intervention. I hope you know what I mean. Well, is it true that God is a Trinity with all these crimes in sweet La Trinity? No, no. The hills are alive in a different way.
Gun control, girl control.
And is it true we have all this money in this land of so much poverty? No, no. The Lord is my shepherd, come what may, yeah. To you the powers that be, hear the cries of the people you see. All this wealth and nothing for we. No, 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 no. The cost of living is too high. This little money the poor can't buy. Oh my, oh my, why? There must be a way. There must be a way. There must be a way to help the people today. I say there must be a way. There must be a way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. From Genesis to Revelation, in my Father's house around many mansions, to take care of 1.3 million natural resources, he made provision to feed this nation. Look, we have oil and gas, Pitch Lake and Mars, on and Calypso, Chutney and Limbo. Yeah. When there is no poverty, crime would decline.
your children and keep
Tell them they could
one piece of the apple, you yeah, it's sweet. You don't want no more truly mango to eat. You still telling me that I should go out there. No way, Jose, because I pledge.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
I pledge.
Bang, bang, bang.
Now that she needs me, I will work hard. I pledge to serve my country, to give her a brand new start. I pledge my love for TNT with all my heart. Bamba dim be bem bem be do bem. Bem bem be dim bam boom bam bem. Bamba dim be dim bem ba do bem. Bem bem be dim bam boom bam bem. TNT will rise again. Yes, we will rise again. TNT will rise again. I honestly believe TNT will rise again. Yes, we will rise again. TNT will rise again and again and again and again. Say you can't find work to do, so you're grieving, Lord. Things hard in Trinidad. She has nothing to offer you, so you're leaving God. Things bad, bad, bad in Trinidad. But before you leave, brother, make up your mind to work like a mule. Sister, 2 jobs 1 time. Yet you're still telling me that I should go out there. No way, Jose, because I pledge, yes, I pledge to serve my country, Tobago and Trinidad. I pledge, now that she needs me, I will work hard. Now let's get down to serious work. Stop your crying, Lord. Things hard in Trinidad, and bring back the ship afloat. No denying God. Things bad, bad, bad.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
brother you
Time check.
with me
It's approximately
again.
16 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report.
In a
Yours truly, the pitbull of radio.
let us
Lennox Smith in studio.
and
We go forget anything. Jeffrey,
yeah, oh yeah.
workers' rights.
I
You can't forget all of them at all. Including corridor transformation and love and tea. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I pledge to serve my country, Tobago and Trinidad. I pledge, now that she needs me, I will work hard. I pledge to serve my country, to
Oh boy, let me say a pleasant good morning to all Facebookers.
In Trinidad, they running away.
Hey, Matilda Rhodes, a pleasant good morning to you.
Lord, they doing fun.
Afisa D. Mohammed, good morning to you. John, good morning.
They tell
Carmen, good morning to you.
go out there.
Primraj, good morning. Nikki Nick, good morning to you. Gloria, good morning. Michael Scotland, good morning to you. Indra. Hey, we be talking about? Don't forget to share Davy.
Of my country
Hey, Makano, a pleasant good morning to you.
and Trinidad.
Hi, Indra Pinky, eh? Good morning.
Now that she needs me, I will work hard. You abuse her when things was nice. Now you're crying blood. Things hard in Trinidad.
The Hanraj,
Have to
that's what I see in there.
out your flying.
Pabaro, good morning to you.
Bad, bad.
Joran Moses, a pleasant good morning. Rishi, good morning. Rishi Prasad, good morning.
After you, yeah, it's
Marilyn Sitaran, oh God, good morning to you. Angela Singh, a pleasant good morning.
still telling me that
Steve Young, good morning to you.
no way,
Gail, good morning.
no way for
Jagu, good morning to you. Trini Nairo, good morning.
I pledge
Yes.
to serve my country, Tobago and Trinidad.
Stefan Lazama, a pleasant good morning to you.
Now that she needs me,
Who else? Who else?
I will work hard.
Gloria Escola, good morning.
To serve my country, to give her a brand new start.
Kenrick Prasad, good morning to you.
I pledge
That's what we talking about. Live Facebook, eh? Alan Hercules, good morning. Ryan, good morning to you. Jenny, good morning to you, Jenny. SI, don't start to share the phone numbers. We gotta get everybody involved, man. Leon Charles, good morning. Want to know the Facebook and them there first, you know. Mina Steiner, good morning to you. Bix Bix, good morning.
bim bam boom bam bam. The auntie will rise again. Yes, we will rise again. The auntie will rise again. I
I hope I ain't forgetting nobody, eh?
the auntie
Hey, Mother Bernie, a pleasant good morning to you.
again.
All had the place hot yesterday, girl. That's good. Let everybody come in and debate, man.
Say you can't find work.
Where the one that want to be late? Silver Fox, good morning to you too. All Tobagonians, including Mother Bernie, her sister, everybody, a pleasant good morning.
She has
I like the fighting mood Mother Bernie was in yesterday. Very good. Stand your grounds, Mother Bernie.
bad bad in Trinidad. But before you leave, brother, make up your mind to work like a mule. Sister, 2 jobs 1 time. Yet you're still telling me that I should go out there. No way,
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
no way for say. Because
Hey, let me test how they check how they did.
I pledge, yes I pledge.
The.
My country, Tobago and Trinidad.
Let me check out Real Media TT on her.
I pledge. Now that she
YouTube, how we going? Let me check out them, they see how they're going there.
had, now let's get down to serious work. Stop
Well, YouTubers always in front, eh?
things hard.
I ain't see no share YouTubers, I only see and like.
Back the ship afloat. No denying God. Things bad, bad, bad in Trinidad. If I work with you, brother, you work with me. Together we could rebuild sweet TNT in a gesture of love. Let us all join our hands and sing. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I pledge to serve my country, Tobago and Trinidad.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. On YouTube, who are seeing? Who's YouTubers are seeing so far? Right, right. Who are seeing on YouTube here? Balroop, good morning to you. That was seen there. Passad, good morning. Nadira, good morning to you. Oh boy, JM, good morning. Onika, good morning to you. Uncle Breeze, good morning, Uncle Breeze. Hi, Uncle Breeze, imagine that name now. Uncle Breeze, I wish you have a heavy breeze to run through the P&M, man. We had to mash up that scenes, man. Come YouTubers, let me see you all here. So much of you all already and I ain't seen you all at all. Hey, Life with Daniela, good morning, Garo. Exactly, only write something, let me see now, man. Only I'm a hail not all the Facebookers. And nothing, don't do me that at all. Well, here we go do, but meanwhile, let me go on Corridor Transformation YouTube and see who they, let me hail them out by the time, yes?
I'm not hearing you on Discord.
Yeah, but I hearing you. Look, everybody hearing you on the Discord. Right now, we know where you say you're not hearing on the Discord. Live. Oh God, boy, look, you're talking. Look, I hearing you. So you're right. A pleasant good morning to you, Lennox Smith. What's in the news this morning? Don't get with the politics one time. We want the bread and butter issues because I wanted to go into something there while we hear you loud and clear. Go ahead, Lennox Smith.
I'm not hearing you through the Discord. But that being as it may, as we normally would do and adapt and adjust to whatever circumstance we may find ourselves in.
We are no circumstance because people saying we had to come across professional.
The reference to several pieces of news that are breaking. Don't forget, of course, people, tomorrow is a holiday. I don't know if the team is prepared to work tomorrow.
I am prepared to work tomorrow, please, God.
Said, we will adapt and adjust. DPP writes, of course, a police commissioner, of course, the Commissioner of Police must probe the pariah deaths. So at least some traction is taking place as far as that long outstanding investigation is concerned, and very tragic. But of course, on the other hand,
wait.
There is no serious movement as far as compensation for the bereaved family of those 4 persons, and including, of course, in my view, the survivor, because of course he too would have, and his family would have been traumatized by that experience that they would have
let me ask something,
or besetted them during the course of that ordeal. So yes, so on the one hand, the DPP has written to the Commissioner of Police, of course,
and let me ask something, why it is the DPP hold Lennox you hear me?
Arrangement according to our law is basically a slap on the wrist.
Lennox Smith.
No real, should I say, punishment such for the individuals involved. The company maybe charged, maybe a fine or something like that. And of course, it's under the OSHA Act anyway. So we wait and see what is going to emerge from this new development,
Lennox Smith.
Latest development. Of course, we have the situation with respect to the PCA probing claim.
Oh boy. Lennox Smith realized we ain't hearing him, and he realized he ain't hearing me. He might realize after. Oh boy, let me call him. Let me tell him just stop and rejoin. Let me call him. Let me call him there. Morning caller. By the meanwhile, let me take a call there before we go in. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Andy. Morning, Lennox. I want to raise a point here. Just imagine this, how wicked this government are. Imagine just the other day, a two parent or one parent, it's alleged, it's a fact too. They went and thief books and things for their children because you know why? Government taxing you left, right, and center. Right? Books so expensive. So you know what's going on here now? That is another crime. Because while the parents did that to get books for children.
I may have to reboot the entire system. Andy,
do that.
Yeah, all right, okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Miss Laukita.
Yes. While the parents did that to get books for her children to go to school, you know, when the children goes to school, the other children will heckle them and tell them their parent, their mother is a thief, all them things. That is where the crime starts. And that is what's going on in this country. Look now, the government bringing back all the old laws. They're digging up and they're bringing back. Because you know why? Because the election coming and they want to tax us, get all the money to prepare themselves for election. That is what's going on in this country. It's a criminal act they're doing to us. Look now, you have your old car now. They're telling you now about the 10th is a next morning. So crime can never stop in this country. And they will pay for that. They will pay for that. Because they're causing the crime. They have no vision in this country. They're causing all the crime taking place in this country. The government is to be blamed. Thank you.
Oh boy, oh boy. So for all of you that are locked on, June Mohammed, a pleasant good morning to you. Michael, hey, lock on boy. Button, good morning. Arima, Miss Arima, pleasant good morning to you. Sharon Jogi, good morning. Wow, all of you all already done locked on. Good morning, good morning. Do you all agree with Miss La Hoqueta that is the government to be blamed? Pamela, Palo, good morning. So do you all lobby? It's about Michael Basdio Singh. Good morning to you. Nigel Black, good morning, Nigel Black. All of you. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. LP, good morning. Singh, good morning. All, share, you know, share. Let me go and peep and see what's going on. John, a pleasant good morning. Bix, good morning to you. So let me ask a question. Do you all believe what it is Miss Lauketa is saying? Annie, good morning. Duki, good morning. Ganesh Pasar, a pleasant good morning to you. All you sharing, you know. Everybody know. Share on all the WhatsApp groups. Share on all the Facebook. Get to all your contacts and share. Not so Calvary Spirit. A pleasant good morning to you, Earl. Logan, good morning to you. And Jackman, a pleasant good morning. Marvin Fredericks. Always, boy. Oh, Andy Williams, voice of the people. Not only me, you. And everybody that come on here on this number one program this morning very early here. Each and every one of us are the voices of the people. Daro included. Are we go for Hafiza, D. Mohammed, all of them. Everybody's voices are the people. And we got to make sure our voices in die at all. We have a very, very serious project coming up in this month here. Very serious project. That I know each and every one of you will be involved. So Lennox Smith was saying that the DPP, what I'm wondering is why the DPP takes so long to now do such. I was wondering that. Is it because now elections is in the air? Is it that because the elections is in the air now, and with elections in the air, right? Lennox Smith, a pleasant good morning to you.
A pleasant good morning to you, my friend. You caught me napping there, boy. I had to reboot all entirely. My apology, those persons who have been relying on the corridor transformation network in order to get to your ground report. I am now rebooting, to get on Facebook and YouTube. So bear with me, people, but the work has to continue. I'm sure that you are adequately, but even though it's not all of you, served by Real Media TT and of course the other network that is connected to
Workers'
us.
Right.
Workers' rights.
Here, yes, I want to ask now, Lennox Smith. Here, I want to ask.
Go ahead.
Because you give us a piece of news, because while you're doing that, I know you can multitask. You're very good at that. You give us a piece of talk there earlier on with the DPP, which is in the front page anyhow of the Guardian. Let me just go to it because kind of confused. Because the question I was asking the people while he was a little absent there is, how come the DPP now doing something that he always was to do? Why now? Is it because of an election? Is it because of pressure by the public? Which I don't think so, because the public have been pressuring the various authorities when it comes to the 4 deaths of those divers and the 1 survivor. You know? So that is my question to you. How come now? Why now? And is it now because he only had the power now to do that? Or he always had the power to do that then? You know, so I'm just a little confused about that.
Well, of course, as you would know by now, and all of Trinidad and Tobago, if they are not familiar, the DPP has the exclusive portfolio authority and remit to treat with every single criminal matter in this country and to withdraw it if necessary, as we saw with the Vincent Nelson matter and that of Alan Ramlogan and the Ramdeen. And indeed, my own experience when, of course, the DPP had no part to play, but because a fellow called Noel Garcia was involved and a private action was taken, the DPP, unprecedented, according to the magistrate at the time, sent to withdraw the matter, even though it was a private one between Norshad Ali and, of course, Noel Garcia, when he was charged privately by Norshad Ali for larceny and breaking and entering.
But we know the DPP have the powers.
The point I am making is that he always had that portfolio, that responsibility. And the timing, I too
what we want to know.
Concerned about the timing as well, because is it that some traction is taking place simply or to appear that something is being done because of the disquiet among the population about this matter and the trauma that we have been plunged into, both as a population and as families, to give it the impression that somehow something is being done. But of course, at the end of the day, I believe is too little, too late. Too little, too late. Not too much, too little, too late. But that is my considered view on the matter.
Right, and they're saying it's a pariah investigator. When the DPP thinking how is a pariah investigator? Because that is how I got it. Let me get back to that news day because I was blasting the
pariah investigator meaning what?
All right, let me get back to that. The quick because I was blasting. So let me just get back to that quick day.
Area investigation from the perspective that if the because I have not gotten wind or sight of the article, but is under OSHA that they are being prosecuted and or investigated. And remember, it's only an investigation, has nothing to do with the evidence adduced. Consequential of the commission of inquiry. That is no good evidence.
Right. Here what the headline in the Guardian say. Here what the headline say. The headline say criminal probe on criminal probe on COPS, well, which is the COP acts on DPP recommendation, appoints pariah investigator. I very fun line saying there.
Pariah investigator. Well, I suspect what they're meaning is that they appoint a police officer to investigate the matter as far from the level of pariah. I can't see. It means my common sense will tell me it doesn't mean that they're going to take somebody from pariah to investigate the matter. I don't think that is logical. Having regard to the instructions of the DPP, and the instructions of the DPP cannot go to a pariah investigator. It has to go to what? The police service let's say management and the leadership, so to appoint an investigator to investigate the matter. That is how I would have interpreted it. I suppose it's
all right.
about
It say here.
semantics.
It say here, DPP recommends criminal probe of pariah diverse strategy. Commissioner of Police Earl Haywood Christopher has assigned an investigator to probe whether there are significant evidence to charge the pariah fuel trading company or any official with manslaughter due to gross negligence in the death of four land and marine construction service divers in a 2022 accident.
That sounds appropriate. That sounds rational, and that sounds as the direction in which the entire exercise or the investigation must go. Yes, she must now appoint, having gotten the opinion, or should I say the instructions from the DPP.
Nice.
That sounds logical, yes.
Right.
That sounds the way to go. So people, I am at the same time getting back to Facebook. You should be seeing that up by now. So those of you who
what are saying here, well,
interrupted, you can now, of course, reboot, and I think you should be back in connection with us. I'm connected to the Discord, as well as, yes, I'm connected to Discord as well as, so therefore you should be getting audio and video momentarily.
Nice. But what they're saying there, because they say, negligence. Well, that's what they say, negligence in the deaths of the 4 land and marine construction services divers in 2022 accident. This after the Director of Public Prosecution, Roger Gasper, considered the report of the Commissioner of the Commission of Inquiry into the pariah divers tragedy.
That is just a further explanation as to what we have already surmised. So that is as a consequence of him making his decision. The inquiry from the police perspective, the investigation from the police perspective has now been launched.
All right, yes. But what they're saying here, well, after they say the pariah diverse strategy, they say this will determine that the only possible non-regularity criminal offense which could have been committed was manslaughter by gross negligence. So the only thing they will be investigating is the negligence and the manslaughter aspect.
It appears that it corporate manslaughter, meaning that the company that is considered to be a person, but the company can't commit what as a physical.
That is what I want to ask you. Here one tax here, and here what people will want to know.
The company will be charged, but they can't jail the company, for example.
Correct. So now here is the big question everybody will want to know, because you more occur with the law. The company have people, living beings that made decision. Remember, it had people within the company that said that wasn't sending people to rescue. Nobody didn't want to think would knowing that the company cannot be really be charged. Meaning the people who run in the company, could they be charged for manslaughter?
Make a jail. Yeah. Well, that is something to be tested, because we have no law from what the experts have been saying. We have no law to.
Well, then what sense this make?
Such a process.
Yeah, but then what sense it make?
Right.
Yeah, but then what sense it make? Because if the company could be charged with, cannot make a jail, but the people who give the orders that make this relevant can be charged too. Well, then what sense this make? Well, then hence the reason why he do it so. Because Dr. Rowley Boy, who in charge there, he lawyer, and all of them, and who display golf with and all of them. So none of them who gave the order when it is some people wanted to go and save the people and say, no, don't go down there, and this one stop that one, and that one stop that one. And you telling me them people specifically cannot be charged? Well, then who go get locked up? Who gonna pay for it? Just the company? But the company can't work by itself. The company is just that. The company have CEOs, managers, and all these various things. So nobody in the company, as a human being, could be charged. Whereby, if that happened, that will set a precedent that many other companies, Lennox Smith, CEOs, managers, always call the other people
Board of directors.
Board of directors. Not only that, the ones who like what Mr. X says, say he was. Oh God, where does have to make sure who's have to make sure everything go good?
OSHA, and of course the
safety officer or something.
Management Authority and all of that.
The safety officer. Remember, it always in a company like that, you go have a safety officer. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So you telling me the safety officer and all for Paria can be charged? Well then, because if it is, they try to charge people. Every safety officer, whether political or what, and them know a precedent was set where if them playing the taking orders from politicians or big people without doing the right thing, that they can make a jail for manslaughter or murder. If they realize that could go on, when many other safety officers, board of directors, CEOs, and the management structure of these companies that putting people's lives at risk, because not the company do it, it's the management. The company have management, Lennox Smith. The company didn't do it alone. It's the managers must be all accountable. From head come down.
That is the what I consider to be the tragedy and the absurdity of the whole situation. Because remember, even when you are involved in a company, for example, depending on the nature of the company, whether you are a limited liability company or you are one of the kind that the liability is unlimited, in such a situation, if you did something wrong, your personal wealth, your personal assets will not be affected if it is, for example, if you are operating in a limited liability company, as opposed probably to maybe a sole trader, where of course a person can go as far as taking your house and your personal belongings and so on. But as far as the law is concerned, limited liability company simply means that your liability is limited to only what the company would have achieved, and therefore if the company infringe, even though you made a decision for the company, as a consequence of which the company made or took action that infringed another person's rights, for example, or did something wrong, injured somebody else, is limited only to the company. So that to me is the absurdity, and that is the reality. And that is what, of course, I'm sure that was uppermost in the minds of the DPP. DPP, I'm sure, would have been minded that the people wanted blood, so to speak. Somebody must be held accountable. Having regard to the display that we saw.
Yeah, but that's just money going and be wasted, Lennox Smith. The state had to be going and pay a set of money where all that money. but that's money going to be wasted, Lennox Smith. Is the state going to pay a set of money where they could have done? Look at how much money done throw away. And these divers, dead divers and their family ain't get nothing, and the one who are alive. So what? We going back in now to waste our next set of money what could be given to the people and done that? Because at the end of the day, the company, to me, cannot be whole liable on, without the engine, the blood, the veins of a company. There's no different than a gun. A gun can't shoot itself. Why doesn't charge a gun and not the person and lead the person then? So why charge the company and not charge the people that making the decisions that cause the death of these divers?
That is the absurdity. So they are going to get away. They may have repetition, let's say soil repetition, injury, but in terms of treating with the public need and the public good and to address the public concern, they would have gotten away with that. That's how the system
What's
is.
that? LP say, here what LP say. LP say, Andy Lennox, more dollars for the boys. Alright, Jerome Moses say Porter Spain voice going down in age. Oh, Porter Spain, your voice going down in age. Hey, let me say Sunil, PT Sunil Maharaj. Good morning to you back. Boy, Ramki Soon, a pleasant good morning to you too. Nice. Let me just see what some of the people saying based on what it is you mentioned there. So you'll have an idea now. Alright, you'll have an idea what they're saying there. Let me see what Miss Arima saying. I just see Miss Arima like she disappear. Oh, boom. Boom. The supporters in the UNC to be blamed. Don't protest for they don't protest for anything. So Miss Arima is saying this, the supporters of the UNC is to be blamed. They don't support anything. Right. Rick Lachman say, but can the individuals be sued in several court? In several court, Lennox Smith, you want to say them thing just
I suspect that is a possibility. Their lawyer, former minister and parliamentarian, who was very strident and very forceful at the inquiry, is saying that he is contemplating sending out, of course, pre-action protocol letters to Paria and anybody else who may be culpable, in order to at least get compensation for the victims. The victims meaning here the bereaved family, and he will be going clearly from the civil perspective. So there are civil remedies that can be pursued, and it appears that is what Ramadan is his name was referring to. Yes.
Okay. Rasta Jack is saying a pleasant morning to all guys. Lock on the ground report. All right. Chandra Ramit is saying so gross negligence, manslaughter would refer to an individual, but corporation, and she put a question mark. When it comes to the corporation, she put a question mark. I would start with the author of the email gate, KCR, or Floyd Khan is saying he would start with the author of the email gate, Dr. Kit Christopher. Well, obviously he's Kit Christopher Rowley. Shame on you.
KCR, yes. Right,
Bernadette, very, very well said, Andy. Grace Caesar just there. Michael Basdio Singh. Yeah, Baldio Singh. He's saying you all falling into the PNM Guardian trap. We fall into the PNM Guardian trap. This is to change the discussion of the government incompetence and corruption of billions of dollars. Michael Baldio saying you could be right too, because any day it might be to change the directions of the whole situation. So you and all could be absolutely, totally.
Yeah, I agree with that. One cannot take that out of the equation. This opportunistic government who try to camouflage every single evil that they would have perpetrated on the people by these kinds of deflections, suggesting somehow that they care about the people. But at the end of the day, it turns out to be disaster, because they are not yet talking about the critical component, which is, of course, what they are prepared to allocate to the surviving family. That is what. That is what is critical.
All right, well, let TD say morning under law, but again, in TNT, nobody wants to go against the government. Well, the government. Anyone forget their self-respect and reason for a job in the industry, in the industry, safety and mandatory, right? Rajendra Maharaj is saying that is how the kingpin Oreo and his best man Newman, which is Newman George Harvey, was on the golf course during the death of the men in the pipeline. So remember, Newman George supposed to be some kind of big boy there, and while these fellas and them was dying, calls coming into those brothers, they neglect that and them continue playing the golf. So Rajendra Maharaj is raising that issue, the issue on that. Trinidad and Tobago, by the meanwhile, we go through the other. Edmond Mendez, a pleasant good morning to you. While we go through the other headliners, the lines will be open to you all. By the meanwhile, the lines are open. Send your voice notes. Send your WhatsApp voice notes. You could give us a call WhatsApp too. And I'm going to give you all the numbers while Lennox Smith continue to go through some of the headliners that we have here. So the numbers are called 225-6644, 225-6644, or 239-5120, 239-5120. Or give us a WhatsApp call or send us a WhatsApp voice notes on what's your thoughts on what have been throughout this morning so far on 366-3053, 366-3053. Let me just take this one. Morning caller.
Good morning.
Morning, Andy.
Go ahead, Sanwan.
Yes, good morning.
You know them divers. You know where the compensation they each of them due to get? If by law they are supposed to get $25,000 for losing their life. I see people come from Venezuela, they get detained in this country, and them get $400,000 for being unlawfully detained. And these 4 men lost their life, and you only gave them $25,000 after they spent $15 million on a feet and frenzy for this matter. That $15 million can be divided by the 4 of them, or 5 of them, and each of them get $3 million each. But they're wasting taxpayers' money behind that. Just to tell people that stuff foolish talk. That's what this government is running. They're running things for their friends. They give them brief to fight case. But the people who deserve the money, them getting pittance. That is what this government about. Making the rich get richer and the poor how they remain the way they is. These people are never going to get justice here, Andy. None. If they could fight whatever case they want, they had to take civil action against these jokers and them. All of them who was involved in that matter to commit these people to death, them had to face the music in civil court, because as far as I can see here, them ain't going to get no kind of money at all, nothing. Barrier dragging their feet, and they had the people like dogs begging. Have a good day.
Wow.
Yes, well, once again, of course, both platforms are up, YouTube and Facebook, of course, on the corridor transformation. So if you prefer there, well, of course, I'm sorry about the inadvertent delays this morning. I thought it was emanating from an outside source, but it appears that it was internal. So I had to reboot, so my apology for whatever you would have missed, but I'm sure you have not missed much, and therefore you can participate as per usual, make your calls, call into the program, listen carefully, and of course, at the end of the day, what it is all about, it is about edification that would, of course, cause you to act in a particular way, in your own best interest, in the interest of your family, in the interest of the community, and by extension, Trinidad and Tobago. This is what this is all about. Don't forget, Andy, of course, you'll have to confirm whether we are having a program tomorrow at all. Tomorrow being, of course, Emancipation Day.
Man, tomorrow, please, God, yes. Let's have a program, man. Yeah. Because remember, the weekend might be a different ball game until we put a lot of things together. So we go with full.
Outstanding matters, and of course, all of it is bread and butter, because as far as I'm concerned, emancipation symbolizes that. And of course, whether or not the administration that professes to be African oriented.
That is why we have a program tomorrow.
Yeah, let me be more specific.
Mama guide them African
symbolic organization, because in practice, they are promoters of a 1% that is not necessarily, I shouldn't say, by and large, not of African descent.
Yes, correct. They promote the 1% more than the African people. It is what it is. PNM don't like their own. Rowleys are Oreo. And nasty, stinking, dirty Oreo. It is what it is. Hey, Lynette. Yes, Lynette from Barataria. Pleasant good morning to you. And only make sure they share, Lynette, all of you that look on, Joe Moses, all of you, Marvin, all you share. Share Corridor Transformation.
Do that, share.
Dunson, good morning.
What was happening?
Oh, Dunson saying, caller, we're doing like Miss Roadbrook and patiently waiting. That's what Dunson is saying. She says she patiently waiting with we voting finger to vote the PNM out. That's what's going on there. Nice. Lennox Smith, what else you have? Any headliners for us there? What else? I'll tell you how much people dead so far.
Quite a few items indeed.
Yeah.
And as we wind down, tomorrow is supposed to be a holiday, but since we are working, we cannot say, well, look, we're winding down, and we would have been shortchanged. Not at all. So let me just go further to indicate there are one or two other things that I would want to, of course, share with the public. For example, OWTU complains to Young about NP leadership practices. Again, of course, is a case of abuse of office, management being reckless, and maybe utilizing punitive measures to have people do what they normally would not do, or is not part and parcel of the collective bargaining arrangement that usually obtains in industries such as this. So they have delivered a letter to NP indicating, and the minister, I suppose, copied the minister, indicating their disapproval, their disapprobation for conduct of a particular manager, and who appeared to have been given a slap on the wrist. And it appears that he is untouchable. And they have, of course, registered their concern via that particular letter that was delivered to the ministry and to NP. So we see how that develops. Of course, on the lips of everyone is this whole question of tinted glass and meters that the authorities now have in their possession to measure, and according to the minister, you can now objectively rather than subjectively make a decision as to whether or not the tint that you may have on your vehicle meet the standard that is required. If not, well, of course, we're talking about heavy fine, I think upwards of about $3,000 inclusive. So that is a hefty one. And of course, the minister was hastened to add that is not a revenue earning measure, but it is about safety, and of course, the usual.
There's no way tinted vehicles, Lennox Smith, is causing crime.
And points demitting and all of that as part and parcel of trying to get a safer driving public.
Lennox Smith, I would like some good lawyers to stand up And let me see if that is constitutionally right. Not that that aspect. I'm talking about the fact that you're losing demerit points. That one punishment for your crime. You still have to pay the ticket. What the hell? That's our next punishment for your crime. And then you still have to take off the tint. So, come on, man. Whether it is you have a break glass or whether you park bad.
To the argument where you have to pay the fine and yet still be subjected to demerit points. Whatever fine it is, whether no parking, whether you park in a no parking zone according to the indictment, or you driving recklessly, or you are drinking and driving, all of the plethora of measures. But according to the government, it is about generating road safety and the proper use, the respectful and vigilant use of the roadways of the country. But I know that at one point in time, the government did say, with the introduction of the seatbelt, for example, they said they expect to earn X amount of money as a consequence. So it's the only government I know that uses punitive measures and penalties such as these to, of course, engage and use all kinds of excuses. We saw that with respect, for example, of the exchange of that $100 bill or note from cotton to polymer. Notice that, and one of the arguments that they advanced was that they are trying, of course, to address the question of money laundering, and the $100 bill is the preferred note, and therefore they target that. And of course, we had to tell the then Minister of National Security, Stuart Young, well, listen, if you are saying that the Trinidad and Tobago $100 bill is so important, is such a medium of exchange, then we will encourage you to load up a pirogue of Trinidad and Tobago $100 bills, and then of course have a sting operation with the police and the customs and so on, and get some drug lord from Colombia or Venezuela to meet you in the Gulf of Paria, and then when they hand you their product, meaning that the cocaine or whatever narcotics or contraband, you then of course hand them Trinidad and Tobago bills and see if you're not found, you will not be found riddled to the bottom of the Gulf of Paria.
Listen,
that's the level of dotishness that we have as ministers in this country.
Here, Bix say morning ground report, the praying COP said the removing the tint is another weapon in their arsenal to fight crime.
Yeah, that's the point I was making.
He said,
with that example.
I start to laugh. He said, boy, I start to laugh. You know? And I want to ask you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, a question that are locked on. All of you that are locked on, Real Media TT Facebook, Real Media TT YouTube, Corridor Transformation, Love Laventy on Facebook, and on the Workers' Right platform. What's your thoughts on that? Do you believe that because people's vehicles is tinted black or dark or tints is one of the major problems for crime and criminality in Trinidad and Tobago? That's a very good question I'm asking you all. Morning caller. The lines are open. Morning caller.
Good morning, Andy. How are you?
Good morning. You heard the question. Make that make sense to me, please. Do you believe that tint or tinted vehicles, trucks, or whatever is tinted, moving on the road, transportation that is tinted, that this is a major problem or cause of crime and criminality in Trinidad and Tobago? What's your thoughts?
Right. So first to begin with, Andy, this is why we need the Central Statistics Office to do the due diligence of research. So government ministers will not be making these stupid analogies online off their head. This is nothing more than a business plan to make money off of the backs of fools. And I have to say fools because many of them are going to run to pay these fines. Okay? And we are no longer dealing in an avenue of common law. Common law dictates that when there is a crime, there must be an injured party in the court of law to claim that there is a crime done. And then you can attach penalties. This is nothing more than a corporate business plan to ensure that they can make money. But what I would also like to add, Andy, because if the case is, and we are saying, according to the minister, that the tints on the glass is a cause of crime, then we should be charging the president's office tomorrow, because all of their vehicles are tinted up. The prime minister's vehicles tomorrow, all of their vehicles are tinted up. And those who are in power of authority, if the law says that the regular, because if the tints don't reach a certain standard, you could be charged. And they're using that as a method of crime. And most of these criminals right now in Trinidad don't need to tint their vehicles because the police are never on the roads to catch them. So why they have to tint their vehicles? Most of the traffic lights stop are not even properly equipped with the cameras to capture these persons when they're breaking the red light or when they're driving strictly on the road. So the tints is not the problem. And if that is the analogy that they are going with, then you'll certainly know the government don't have a crime plan, and this is nothing for them to get some quick money to probably put into their pockets to spend for election campaigning. Because at the end of the day, we know that is what does drive campaigns in Trinidad and Tobago. So that is why I literally rest my case on that. I would love statistics done by the Central Statistics Office that says this is an avenue of criminals getting away. If the police are on the road, then they have no need to tint up their vehicles dark to hide, because they're getting away anyway.
And next question before you go.
Yes.
The issue whereby the DPP ordered now a criminal probe or probe or for the to do an investigation into the diver's death. Lennox Smith told us that the DPP always had that power of it go. So we question was why the DPP takes so long, and then we also learned that is against the company. And my question is, a gun don't kill nobody without somebody behind it, and anybody who behind the gun when they shoot it, that the person get in charge. So why the company who ain't kill nobody, because the company can't act without CEOs, without safety officers, this, that. Why the company is to get charged or to be in that investigation, and not the individuals who give the orders, not for people to go and save the divers and who was on golf course and all them things. What's your thoughts on that?
Because this is a class action lawsuit in the United States. If you directly fail to meet the obligation of the safety requirements, it is the company that is liable, not the individuals, the company. So we need to understand what is being done here. The only reason this is happening now is because the government couldn't get an influence, and I have to make that analogy that the government can get an influence the way they get the influence. Didn't taxpayers' money spent for bringing in persons in order to make this done? We have to wait in 2024 for our DPP to know whether or not criminal negligence happened on our job because people fail to do the work. We're losing. So that's not going to do anything, because at the end of the day, they can't, in my humble opinion, they can't prove intent. The best way for that company, they should have settled out of office a long time and compensate these Somalis. But you see, when you have good friends with some minister in office, always there's going to be a way to circumvent the course of justice. Now the families are crying out. I am saying the company have a right to sit down with the attorneys and pay the families long time. In my humble opinion, the fact that the attorneys now who representing these families have a stronger claim, in my humble opinion, and I'm saying, if the offer was $6 million for family, now it should be 10, because now they have just lost their case in one of the probably highest principles in the court of law, and now we can safely say the families deserve more money. The fact that the lawyers went there and they lose. So this is what it is. And make that charge. That's what they should have stood on a long time ago. But we already waste taxpaying money. So for them to come now and try to make any claim and making no sense, better that they just settle at the table and pay the families properly. That's my humble view on it.
Okay, thank you, Lyndon Mark. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
And Andy, it makes a lot of sense because let's face it, at this belated stage, this post facto stage, 2 years after, what crime scene could there be? If there is a police investigation, which means there's a criminal investigation, the civil part of it may still be durable, but certainly the criminal part of it, all the evidence, the physical evidence and so on, the pipeline, etc., the place where they cordon off and all of that would be tampered with and therefore compromised. But go ahead, my friend. You have a caller there?
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, morning again.
Good morning.
Go ahead, my friend. Yeah.
Go ahead,
morning,
caller.
everybody. Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Yeah,
Kelly. Andy, Mikey. Morning, everybody. Now, I want to be the devil. Yeah, I am speaking. It will lapse. I want to be the devil advocate this morning, and the reason for that is because yes, even though that Lyndon make a lot of sense, I want to be the devil advocate because at the end of the day, here what's going on by Andy and Lennox and Mikey K. Yesterday I leave to come down the road to go down by Lennox them side. Now, yes, if a vehicle tinted and it park up, there it's no crime in that. But we had to also be real too. We have criminals using these vehicles where people can't really see them, right? Now, yes, it's supposed to come from the top. The ministers are them supposed to tend the vehicles, but let's be real. It have people using vehicles, riding shotgun, and nobody can see who in the vehicle car pulling up on here. Look, yesterday I leave to come down the road. I in a PH taxi. Now, me know it had roadblock on the road, but I really find the traffic was kind of steep. Yes, PH. Police pull over the car. When they pull over the car now, it's because the search of the car, weed, a firearm, everybody in the station, wholly. Now that is wrong. At least the driver, or they keep the driver, let go the passengers, because the passengers have to go on the work, they have to do things to do. But they keep people there almost half the day. You understand? Running investigation, running probe on people, right? But at the end of the day, we have to really be real too. People just do things under tinted vehicle. Let's be real. Yes, the tint vehicles don't do the crime. It's just like the man behind the gun. But they just use the tints. They just use tint vehicles to do the thing. Nobody can see them. Let's be real. So if it is a car pull up on you, and at that you panic, you look at it and run because you don't know who inside of that car. It could be gunman, all kind of thing. How you think they kill that boy down in Saudi by the pizza place? Tinted vehicles, dog. Let's be real. But it must start from the top. So I been the devil advocate this morning. I would like to hear the US callers when it comes pertaining to the tinted vehicles. Lock on and listen back. Getting ready there by Lennox.
All right, Father. So now we know why you couldn't put in a presence yesterday. You were, should I say, forcibly detained.
No, but at the end of the day, they're still missing the point of Lyndon Mark or myself when it coming to tinted vehicles. At the end of the day, the big point is it don't have police on the road anyhow. Whether the vehicles tinted here, there, or anywhere, when it comes to the detection rate in Trinidad and Tobago, it have nothing to do with the tint. It have everything to do with the incompetence of the police service and its police officers. And for a matter of fact, the management of the police service. Because nobody can sell to me. Nobody. Because nothing can prove at this point in time that tinted vehicles are the main cause or players when it comes to the crime and criminality in Trinidad and Tobago. Because it's a real criminal moving with untinted vehicles. Because boy, if I's a criminal and I know I'm moving with drugs and guns and this and that, I smart enough to know don't rock with a Tida, don't rock with a Almera. Now they're rocking with van and this and that. And I smart enough to know don't rock with no tinted vehicle because you're pulling yourself up. Just like I'm smart enough to know, and the criminals and them out there smart enough to know, don't put on no hoodie, don't put on no white vest, quarter pants and slippers. Don't make yourself a target So if I is a very smart criminal, shooter, killer, I toting guns, drugs, highly likely I rock him with any tinted vehicle, you know. Because I know my vehicle gonna be targeted, you know. And besides that, I have somebody in front. 2 vehicles in front because I big trade, that guns are. So I'm teaching all you how the criminal elements and the ground, how grassroots this thing, that doing those type of business. You'll have a local car in front on the trail. You'll have a next car going in a different direction. Like let me say to come out of the Go Martin. I could take 2, 3, 4, 3 routes if let me say it's Bagatelle. Could organize and go over the Simeon, go Pity Valley side and go over the way it's called that road.
Maraval.
Yeah, to go to Maraval.
Yeah.
Good. I could pass on the St. Lucian Road by the Go Martin Junior Sec there that will carry us on the St. Lucian Road there that we will go to Maraval there to go up there. We also have the main road. It also have where we could organize and reach across the Carenage through La Puerta. It have plenty different routes, and what I will do is I will send. It will have driver in front. It will have a driver in front looking to see what roadblock, what police, what that. Might be 2 vehicles. One thing 3 minutes, 4 minutes before. 3 minutes before. And next one leave 3 minutes after. And while on that route there, the calls coming in anyhow. Why? Look, we don't pass our police.
Andy, but the example and the experience that Teddy gave demonstrates what you are saying, you know.
Exactly.
He may have overlooked that. The fact of the matter is that the operating factor, whether there was a tinted vehicle he was in or a non-tinted one, whether he was an accomplice in what they found there, the common denominator is that the police was on the alert. That is the common denominator. So whether it was a tinted vehicle or non-tinted vehicle, once the police is on the lookout and they are alert, they would have discovered any infringement of the law in such circumstance.
Let me take this call.
And that is where I think Mark and yourself and so on are looking
and
at.
You.
The fact is that the police is not sufficiently alert. They still have, of course, a far way to go in terms of detection, and that alertness will always benefit whether you have tint or not. So therefore,
take this call.
Tinting argument is, to me, a very specious. It sounds good, but really and truly, it is negligible.
Caller.
Hello, Andy. Morning.
Go ahead, Corporal.
Good morning.
Andy.
Corporal, go ahead. You go ahead.
Morning. You and Lennox.
Yeah, morning to you.
Yes, good morning.
Andy, hear this. The tint what they're talking about. Now, they say 35 in front, 20 in the back windows and the back glass. So why the shooter can't be sitting on the back? Why the shooter can't be sitting on the back? Because 20 is smoke, very dark. 35 is for the front seat drivers. Why the shooter cannot be the back? So when they have the back tint at 20, the shooter can be sitting on the back. So they're not making any sense.
And that is darker, right?
Yes.
Very good point. Very, very, very good point. Very good point.
The shooter don't have to be sitting on the front. I'm normal fella can be sitting on the front and the shooter in the back. So what is the problem with having 35 in front and 20 in the back? And the back glass is 22. You understand? So they're not making no sense. They're not thinking what they're doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Imagine that Corporal actually agreeing with us on this one. Wow. The lines are open, Trinidad and Tobago. The lines are open. What's your front burner? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah, so it is about police, it's about policing, it's about effective, should I say, information-driven policing. Yeah, intelligence-driven policing.
So long your radio when you're making your contribution, Teddy, because you're getting the feedback and it's confusing you. And we ain't getting a flow from here what we will normally get. contribution, Eddie, or you're getting back at the conclusion here, and we cannot know from your home we will go. You see, like, friends, look how long you're taking to answer back because you're listening to the radio and you're not listening to the phone. Listen to us through the phone.
I went and load on the radio now. Outside, but I make my go inside to load on. But anyhow, here what's going on, Andy. I really never, I'm not telling you that the tent is the problem or the crime, you know. Listen to me, good. You are started off and I say, people go misunderstand me. Here what's going on. The main factor is, and this is reality, they don't know Lipton tea, coffee or Milo tea. This is the reality that the criminals does use the tinted vehicles as an avenue, right? Now, at the end of the day, this wasn't supposed to be implemented now. This was implemented a long time. But the reason why now the government now go come now and implement this tinting is because they fail when it comes to the crime detection and the crime rate. But at the end of the day, let me look at it as let me look at reality, whether back seat, front seat. I am telling you, because I see something, I've been in something. The tint people just pull up in tinted vehicle and Lego bullet. I've been real, you know, get to I live in, you know. Tinted vehicles, people, you can't see who inside, you can't see the driver, you can't see nothing. You understand? And if you on the corner lineman and a vehicle pull up on you where you can't see nothing and glass just drop down and you start to see nozzle, what's going on be your situation, what's going on be your problem? And then when you down dead, nobody can give accountability who come and shoot you because they can see who it was in the vehicle. So let me be real, I'm not saying that the tinted vehicle is the part of or the initial crime, you know, but it's an avenue that is used, trade. An avenue, right?
So your argument, and I accept it, Teddy, that it will benefit the ordinary person as well, and not just the police, because if people are suspicious, you know, there will be a greater degree of suspiciousness when you see a vehicle moving in a particular way, but now you could see through it, and therefore you make evasive or take evasive action, or corrective action, as the case may be, because you may want, of course, to retaliate in a preemptive way. So I take your point, my friend. We have another caller. Good morning.
Oh boy, we missed that one. Phone stick up there. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
Yeah, Andy, morning.
Go ahead, Lyndon Mark.
Andy, I hearing what Teddy is saying. If that's Teddy, right? And yeah, I understand the point he's making. Right, I understand the point he's making about what is currently happening, you know, whether you're in the ghetto, etc. But you see, this is why, again, you remember Ulla went before the Joint Committee in February of this year, and the question was asked to her about the amount of effective working vehicles, right? The vehicles are for the purpose of being on the nation's roads, Andy. So in his case, even if a criminal was passing with a tint and they make a shooting and decide to get away, the police would have been able to respond if the neighbors would have been able to call 999. And then there is now an interpretation. You're now going, police is on the road actively now to possibly intercept the vehicle. But if there is no police vehicle on the road, the vehicles don't need to be tint, or you could have tint. As Lennox Smith said, the common denominator is ensuring that we have the police on the road 24/7 to apprehend. This is what they are there for. But when they are in the stations and you have to dial 999, and this country has never really done a proper audit on the response time of first officers, the response time it takes for the ambulance to respond, the response time it takes for the fire services to respond. And in some very rural areas, in our life and death situation, firefighters could probably take 10, 15, 30 minutes before they are able to respond to a real situation in real time. So this is the overall problem that we are having. The problem is not the issue here is whether or not the police service can respond to life and death emergencies in real time. And the society have to determine what is a valuable response time. We have stations that are 5 and 10 minutes away. And in real situations, it taking the police service an hour. And in the case that we have now, for what we have gathered for information, 8 hours it taken for them to respond in regular situations. So the issue here is not about the tinted vehicles. Even if the criminals have already assessed that the problem here is that because the police is not on the streets the way they're supposed to. And how do we know that? The mass shootings that they had over the weekend, where they had the bloody murders of probably 10 persons or how much ever the numbers was. What was the next thing they did the other day? All of a sudden, police all over the street. Not so? So if the situation is that the police has come out when it have bloody murders, then they are supposed to have a proper management plan in place to ensure that it don't matter where you live, as long as the vehicles are on the road working, the police is supposed to have a proper apprehension time to intercept vehicles when they commit crimes. This is why you have all these petty crimes happening all over Trinidad. And businesses are losing because the police is not on the road. And that's the common issue that we have to look at. I end my case.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. As I said, a common factor that the response time, the presence of the police in that case yesterday, a classic example of the timely and real-time presence of police created a situation where people were apprehended. You cannot blame the police if they discovered having, of course, search a vehicle and people were claiming to be passengers. They must verify whether that is so or not. I would fault
I
them
was going to say the same thing. You had a steady.
Time if they take an extraordinary time to process and to determine that, because it's very easy to determine if a fellow going to work, because they must be conscious of the fact that industry has some there's repercussions for man time or manpower or man hours lost in industry, and when you of course unnecessarily detain someone who should have been on work, a number of factors could happen. His job could be in jeopardy, etc.
Again,
productivity could be reduced, as we have seen with, of course, the day of total policing, etc. So they must have learned their lesson and must be conscious of these facts.
Nice, but most importantly, Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning. The ground report.
Yeah, go. Oh, sorry about that, caller. Go ahead.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah, Andy Felix. Could you text me Cyrus computer shop?
Yeah, no problem. Send my.
All right.
Oh, look at you on this right.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I will send it for you. All right. Next caller, morning caller. Caller, a pleasant good morning to you. What's your contribution on the ground report this morning?
And
go ahead, caller.
As the caller's concerned just now, I think we
situation anthem, right?
Where's that?
Oh, go ahead.
I was now tuning in and I hear all they talking about the crime situation, police doing things. But what about the crime the police does do? Yesterday, right? The police block off the road to create traffic on a junction that is split into a two-way junction. They block off one side, right? To create traffic. And as you approach the junction, you can see the turn off to go in the opposite direction. As you swing off there to go down, then you see the police them stand behind two posts. And when they park the vehicle, you can't see it from the junction, from the turn off. As you pull off there, they line you up and they give you a ticket and tell you illegally overtaken. Chase Village, the triangle. That is the tactic suppose. You know when bandit blocking the road and rob you, that is a criminal offense. But when police blocking the road and give you a ticket, that is justice. How does this work?
Interesting.
Yeah, that is the tactics. The man Raju Das, the officer from Freeport Police Station, have a bad attitude with a set of temper, and I want to tell you about Trinidad people is the worst, most disgusting thing. Like he realized he from Trinidad too.
He tell you all of that? Some of them police tell you all kind of out of time and stupid talking.
Yeah, they're looking to aggravate you. A passenger in my car, they started to tell the fella set that thing. When the fella get vexed and he started cussing you on the lucky up one time, he using obscene language. That is the tactics the police using now, aggravate the public, put you in a position where you about to, as they claim, you commit a crime and lock you up. Create traffic so that you go around and know who people will take the chance and then give you a ticket and say that you was illegally overtaken. The police service is a low thing right now. You can't have no confidence in them, you cannot believe them, you cannot trust them. This is a set of dirty people. My tax-paying money must pay for you to do what? Extort me? Nah, man. We reach a point in Trinidad and Tobago where people need to come together and stand up. Don't sit down and boy, when I going through my thing, nobody don't care, no. It are people just like you going through a thing, and people want to stand up right now and make it a public effort to get rid of these people. It starts from the top. You have to get rid of them dirty politicians, and now we have to get rid of these dirty police. Because you can have vehicle to block road and stop and give people ticket, and you don't have vehicle when people in trouble, gunman running them down, this happening, people kidnap, rape, all kind of thing. You don't have a vehicle to go and investigate them thing, but that vehicle to block the traffic, to create traffic, for people to go out of their way to try and go around the traffic, and then you want to charge people. And tell them all kind of thing too, that right. It's not right, this country going through. We're at a point where it has no return here right now.
All right, caller, thank you so much. Wow.
These are real.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, go ahead, caller. Next caller, good morning to you.
Morning, Andy. Morning, Lennox. Morning, Mikey. Morning to everybody.
You get the gentleman number right? I'll send it for you.
Yes. I spoke to him already.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Freeport. Go ahead, Mr. Freeport.
Andy, I want to ask one or two questions, boy. First one is the tinted glass. If the glass not tint and there is a shooter in that car, could it shoot you or not? And the next one is, we have some 12-seater bus with panel, no glass. It's a panel van. I wonder if the government going to make all the owners of those panel van take off the panel and put glass. No, don't laugh now. This serious matter, boy. Because a lot of people saying all kinds of things.
That's how serious it is that you really have to laugh to keep your sanity.
And you see, people talking, they're trying to make sensible contribution, but they're not thinking. When a shooter wants to shoot you, he could walk up to you and shoot you. He don't have to be no tinted glass. Right? What I would like the government to do, instead of run down people with tinted glass, try and find the people who bring in the guns and get at them. And the next thing, the divers on them. Problem we have in this country, we have too much hungry lawyers. Just imagine some people lose their life on tragic circumstances, and you have lawyers defending, going against them. To make them look bad? For what? For money, right? People lose their loved ones. Why these lawyers are so hungry? Eh? And I just can't take on them kind of thing. And from day one, I say, because I work in the construction industry for many, many years, the company and the safety personnel have to be responsible for whatever takes place on the job site. So when they're trying to spin or make new law and spin it all over the place like they spin it top to make the divers look bad, and I hear a man say $25,000 for a diver, I would like one of those MP or whoever, PNM people lose their family $25,000 for the loved one that lose their whole life. There's young people, there's not old people like me, it's young people that lose their life. Whole livelihood and the family livelihood gone there, and nobody care about them. Nobody. So all you take it from day one I saying about this, all you take care.
Sorry about that. Next caller. Morning.
Morning, Andy. Morning, Lennox.
Morning.
Lennox, there is a show on YouTube we call Cops. I don't know if you ever come across it.
Mm.
When a police reports for duty and his job for the day.
No, I haven't, but go ahead.
Night, or for the night is on patrol. Every district in that show is a documentary. Eh? Every district in that show have 2 patrol. And you know, the call comes in from the base. When the call comes in from the base to the patrol, the minutes away, not hours, you know, minutes away, and 95% or 98% of the time, the criminal is being captured. Because you know why? They're right in the vicinity of the crime. Because they're in and around, and they're on the road. You have to start to have to investigate some of these police and them dropping the children in school with the police car, going and pick up grocery for the family. All these things is unnecessary. This is where the crime starts. So this is the reason why when you call the station, sometimes it have look the other night. Bandits come in front by my neighbor there. Call the station. The station say, okay, the patrol will deal with it. 45 minutes. Bandit done kill me and gone already. 45 minutes the patrol are calling the patrol. No patrol. Somewhere the patrol pack up, either eating doubles. I mean, they have to eat. But okay, your duty is your duty. They have to take this duty serious. In order to curb the crime, they have to be minutes away, not 45, 3/4 of an hour away. So this is one of the major problems. They have to be investigated. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Oh boy.
Yeah, so a caller also raised the question of road cops as well, and
but hold 1 minute there, you get to the road cops issue that the caller raised. Go ahead, a caller.
Yes, I want to ask Mr. Freeport. Mr. Freeport, firstly, them white panel vans are being used illegally to transport people. If persons are injured in those vehicles, they have nothing to get because the insurance don't cover them. And secondly, with the Paria, with the diving incident, isn't there a company called LMCS that the report, the inquiry, also named to be liable? Why nobody not focusing or calling their names in it? Is it because the owners of LMCS are financiers of the UNC?
Thank you very much, caller. The lines are open, eh?
Well, clearly, a immediate response to the last caller would be that Ellis, that particular company is less known. I don't think it's because of what he asserted, and I am sure that whatever investigation that is being launched, whether it's criminal or civil, I'm sure that that company will also be part and parcel of the exercise. But let's face it, Paria is a state enterprise, and therefore its largest, its war chest, if you want to call it that, will be much larger than a private company. And therefore, one could understand why the focus is on Paria, quite apart from the fact that the incident took place on the compound of Paria and not that of any other entity that may or may not have been involved.
Nice. Morning, caller.
Morning, Andy, Mikey, and Lennox, and everybody. I want for a law for when they make a law in the parliament, the president has to proclaim it for it to be law. I want to ask if the Occupational Health and Safety Act is a law. If the president proclaims it, I want to ask them. Hello?
Lennox Smith, you could answer that?
Lennox?
Oh boy. Well, Lennox will answer that in a little bit.
All right, let me make my point.
Go ahead.
Because I have never heard any president proclaim that as a law as yet, and never in us. So if that is not proclaimed, nobody cannot claim anything under the Occupational Health and Safety Law or Act. Secondly, Andy, when the divers was in the pipeline on a Sunday, there was somebody asking the minister, I ain't calling no name, my brother. It was on the news the Monday morning. Asked the minister and the head at the Paria for they to go down and check and see if they could save the divers. And they say no. They say no, Andy. I taken the station already. They say no. So these are the two men to be charged. What they talking about corporate manslaughter? They're not jokish talk, is that, boy? Eh? Corporate manslaughter, and they put 3 men there as the scapegoat when it should be the minister and the man in charge of Paria at that point in time. Andy, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, the lines.
And Andy, what is disconcerting is that the evidence that they would have given in the commission of inquiry cannot be used by the police as an advancement. No, it's an advancement. They have to conduct a separate and independent investigation to either confirm or refute or deny that which they would have given in the commission of inquiry. I find it a bit, not a bit, hugely disconcerting, but that is the system.
Now, that madness. Let me take this call. Morning, caller.
Call concerning the tint. One, the tint have nothing to do with crime. You want to stop crime, give people hope. People are getting woke, so how they go look the thief and rob? That is one. The second thing, the Paria thing. The Paria, the divers, they died because of negligence of the Paria management. Why they not dealing with them? Them is the one who caused the divers. So they're not the people the contractor who they was working for. They was not at fault. So come back to the murder rate in this country, the crime. The government not doing anything to make people get woke to start with. They close down many places. People have their family to maintain, to buy books, food, everything, anything you could think about. You are and if you're not getting woke, and there's a man going and delay, hey boy, I give $5,000, do so. And look at gun. you go and you go make a try, and you're getting through because the police is not up to standard with the equipment and whatnot. And one of the easiest way to find criminal is use the helicopter. What is the kickback with that? Nobody not mentioning that. I see that work in America. I was there. And I could tell you that helicopter does work throughout the world and in other places where crime is concerned. The helicopter will take 5 minutes to leave from south to go Port of Spain. Why? Because there are no traffic. So how they can? You say a blue car, a TIDA, blue TIDA. The helicopter will fly in and they will find the vehicle. Heading east, heading north. And that is it. And the crime will solve so easy in this country and everything. The country will get back to normal. But once you get rid of these criminals, it's just a handful of people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Next caller. Morning caller. Morning caller. Caller, go ahead.
Andy and Lennox.
Yeah, go ahead. Morning.
Andy and Lennox.
Morning.
Men like Colin Piper and you and George, right? Them was at the helm of Paria making decisions on whether or not to go and rescue people, you know. They called off the Coast Guard when the Coast Guard wanted to come there. They said nobody go in there, right? All these things is evidence, you know. And you go tell me you can't use none of that from this commissioner inquiry where taxpayers spent $15 million plus on the Lennox. We money spent behind that, and these people and them get no justice. And yet you got to give them a lousy compensation at $25,000 each. This place is not right. It's not right at all. It's not fair. I tell you, all these things here were happening, right? It's other fault straight on this PNM face, you know, because they're responsible for this thing. They're responsible for all the injustices and the crime taking place in this country. And that's why you see this country can't go forward at all. They're going backward ever and forward never. How about the end?
Thank you very much. Next caller, morning.
And me, you know what's going on. I want to thank the lawyer this morning for standing with the four divers family. I felt so proud this morning to know that they will, you know, the just will come. They will be getting their little money. But because of Paria, we are just praying that Paria will come to their senses and know it's human beings and they need to get their just free.
Yeah, but Ms. Lahoketa, the money what it is they will be getting is about $25,000, you know.
I said it's about 5 million ahead.
What's what you see that?
That is what it alleged. I heard they're trying to see if everybody, each family gets $5 million, but Paria holding it back.
That is the talk. According to Ms. Lawker, they say.
Go ahead, Mikey. Go ahead, Mikey K.
That we are instructed, according to the lawyer, we are instructed that our client is prepared to accept an ex gratia payment in the sum of $5 million as and final settlement of all claims to be made by our client against Land and Marine Construction Services Limited and Paria Fuel Trading Company Limited. There is going to be a press conference today at the law firm. That's the Magnus Chambers. So that is going to be taking place today. And we'll tell you more about that. Good morning, good morning. Go ahead, Ms. Lahoketa. Is she there?
Nah, well, she was listening to you, but let me take the next one. Morning caller.
All right.
Good morning, Andy. Hi, Mikey. Good morning. Good morning, Lennox. And how are you, gentlemen, today?
All right.
We are good. We are good. We are good.
Could be in this circumstance.
Good.
What's your contribution?
I don't really want to talk to Trinidad and Tobago per se today. I want to talk to the people of Venezuela who live in Trinidad and Tobago today. We are watching on as to what is taking place in the Venezuelan society following this election. And I am watching the comments by the professionals, by the politicians in the Caribbean, particularly those in Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm appalled at the evil that walks and manifests as men and women in this society. Appalled, Lennox, appalled and disgusted. It's nothing short of colonial thinking that we have here. We condemn the US and European powers for their interest in third world countries and call it economic interest. And all they care about is oil in Iraq and all they care about diamonds in Africa. But what if you listen to the narrative in Trinidad and Tobago? It's about the dragon gas. It's about preserving Trinidad's economic future. So we are basically talking about using the blood and the killing of democracy in Venezuela, where the Venezuelan people are fighting for their lives. They're fighting against oppression. And we are saying we don't really care what the outcome is once we could preserve our dragon gas. And that came from a journalist who was in Trinidad, another economist saying, well, if we do not basically secure our gas, despite it being blood gas, as the term blood diamond, we will have more blood. Is it that we have to plug the blood of Trinidadians with the blood of Venezuelans? We should be out in the streets protesting in front of the Venezuelan embassy as we did for the Palestinians. Have we lost every ounce of humanity in Trinidad and Tobago? Another one actually called, when someone called out what is happening in Venezuela, I mean, a PNM might ask them if they're unpatriotic. If unpatriotic means that you have to support a dictator, a tyrant, somebody who has been up on drug charges, a number of different things, is that the type of person that we call, that defines our patriotism? What manner of men and women we have in Trinidad and Tobago? I want the Venezuelan people to listen to what I said there, because it's very important that they take up that mantle for their people and we support them in their fight for democracy, because their fight for democracy is our fight for democracy here in Trinidad and Tobago. And I leave you with that. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you indeed.
Thank you.
That's correct. And everybody who weighing in on this thing and talking about, hey, the imperialist America and all that sort of archaic kind of Jurassic thinking. If you want to celebrate with Maduro, why you're not in Venezuela? You ain't reached there yet? Why are you not celebrating Maduro? He should invite you to the palace. All these people who weighing in with this nonsensical diatribe coming out of their mouth. Why are you not in Venezuela celebrating with the people if it is you believe it was a fair victory? Staying in your comfort zone, a bunch of comfort zoners, that is all, waiting, hiding behind the keyboard. Listen, man, who we have on the outside, Andy?
But the concern is really Trinidad and Tobago and the repercussions of that again. Is it that we're going to have a fresh influx of Venezuelans if this thing is not resolved?
Yes,
Lennox. Yes, it have an influx.
And for those who are saying that we ought not to pay attention to what is happening around us and other parts of the globe, I want to tell you, that is a misnomer. It is critical that we pay attention, particularly now as a global village. The fact that Russia, for example, and Ukraine and the Ukraine war has created, of course, more US dollars or more foreign exchange for us. Of course, we have an incompetent and corrupt group of persons who are managing, but that is crucial, and that is an international matter. We are not concerned about it, but it has benefit for us. In the case of Venezuela, it's a negative one, and therefore we must express our disapproval and our extreme concern about this development and call on the government to put measures in place to save us from this onslaught.
Yes, I agree with you, Lennox. Yes, because it is going to affect us. That's our closest neighbor right down the road. Of course it's going to affect us. And there's going to be some economic implications as well. We can't even get eggs in this country. Ravi Ratiram, who is the UN shadow minister of agriculture, said that there's a poultry shortage. We can't even get eggs. And we're expecting more people in this country. He condemned the PNM for its failure to address the ongoing crisis in the poultry sector, which has led to a severe shortage of poultry and eggs across Trinidad and Tobago. Ratiram highlighted the desperate situation faced by local poultry suppliers who have reported that they are unable to open their businesses due to critical lack of supply. We have contacted several poultry suppliers and they have indicated that they can't even open because they have no supply. And there are people who will stay in their comfort zone, who won't stand up for what is right and tell you, well, go, well, you know, I ain't have to make no pies, I ain't need no egg. What we go do? That is how it is. And then somebody go weigh in again with more nonsense, compound the idiotic statement by saying, well, it's not just here, you know, it's all over the world, eggs. And then somebody go after that stupidness and say, well, what's going on right now? Bill Gates and them have all the egg under the mattress because he and Mark Zuckerberg hide egg and all kind of stupid. That what they like as conspiracy theories. That is what they like.
You sound like Mr. Porter Spende, Mikey.
No, but the man right. The man right.
The man doing his job. And that is all the people like here is a bunch of conspiracy theories. That's all. It's not about getting up. You have no eggs. Eggs scarce. Imagine that. A bunch of writers in Hollywood cannot write this script. We are living on a daily basis. This is the reality. And you still have people calling and still want what is best. Man call about helicopter. Man call, hey, this government ever tell you they want to solve anything? This government ever told you that they like you to begin with? This government ever told you that they are there based on your interest? What solution this government has ever sought out to make your lives better? And you're coming to talk about helicopter and what they should do. They don't like you. It's not the knowing that has killed people, you know. It's the confirmation. It's not people out here who know they're sick and they're functioning, but the minute they get diagnosis, official from the doctor, they start to feel the symptoms. You want them symptoms for the next 5 years? What else do we need to tell you to convince you? It is nothing you know it. It is confirmed. The PNM is a great failure. They are a failure. How else do we ring it in your ears, drill it through your skull, let it out there and marinate in your psyche? They don't like you.
Bang, bang, bang.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Wow, wow, wow. The lines are open, Trinidad and Tobago. Hey, morning, Richard Ram Logan. Richard Ram Logan, Mikey K is saying Trinidad and Tobago is really a Mickey Mouse country. And the people like it so. Hafiza Mohammed is saying, preach, Mikey, preach. Sean Martin is saying, well said, my brother Mikey. Well said, Mikey. It is what it is. Ahmed Mohammed, good morning to you. So again, the lines are open. The number to call.
What is the true scenario that would encompass Mikey's presentation as well as concerns of other calls? The fact of the matter is that a Venezuelan that operates in Trinidad, they are competing with locals in the grocery. But when they purchase, taking menial jobs that the ordinary person in Trinidad will not accept, but utilizing that resource.
That is not true, Lennox Smith. Let me tell you why. Where you said about the mutual jobs that a normal Trinidadian would not want, you have to put it in the right context. The minimum jobs that the Trinidadian don't want, that we competing for, is because they don't want to pay with the minimum wage, and they're paying the Venezuelans under the minimum wage. If they was paying with the minimum wage, which is $120 something for 8 hours, no, it's more than that. $20 an hour, and it's 8 hours we working for. That $160.
Well, Andy, what you're doing is confirming what I'm saying, that they are taking a job, whether it be for less money or otherwise. The Trinidadians are not prepared so to do. So you are confirming what I'm saying.
But you're coming across like they're lazy.
Hold on. Yeah, but no. With all due respect, Lennox is making sense there, Andy. You're coming across. But let me ask you something, Andy. What is the minimum wage? Gentlemen, what's the minimum wage?
$20, $20.50.
All right. And what are the Venezuelans taking?
They're taking like $100 a day for the jobs, and the business people taking advantage of it because remember they don't have to pay NIS for them. But if it is a local, they have to pay NIS for the locals, which will run up their wages. So the business people and the government allowing the business people to advantage.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that is advantage. I don't think that is advantage. The Venezuelans are here seeking a better life. They are motivated and engineered to do whatever it takes to make their lives better. Why should a Trinidadian be getting $20.50 an hour? Why? Why should I pay you money? And you have a problem with the little bit of money I pay you, but you have no problem with missing money. You have no problem with a lying PNM government. You have no problem with murders. You have no problem with home invasions. You have no problem with the government ministers and their friends, their family and finances getting everything. You have no problem with dead drivers. You have no problem with the NDA signed with the Chinese government. You have no problem with 2,000 students falling through the cracks. You have no problem with racial division. No problem with dengue. No problem with dead babies. And the list goes on. But you have a problem because I want to pay you less than $20.50. People treat you the way they see you. And people are looking at their fellow Trinbagonians as people who just like to talk and compromise. You don't deserve no $50. You allow everything to take place, but you have a problem with the little money I've given you. Pay the Venezuelans and forget about the locals. The locals compromise. What we gonna do? You know how the thing does go. You know at the end of the day, I stick it with my own. Yeah, that is what they like. They shouldn't be paid a cent. Because Rowley, I give them nothing.
So they should work for free then.
And if I may continue, gentlemen, if I may continue.
And they're taking everything else for free?
Yes. When they get that little bit of money, comparatively speaking, they then go to the grocery and paying the same price as the ordinary person. But of course, they are shopping as well for maybe half a dozen persons back in Venezuela. The situation is that we do not have the appropriate foreign exchange to purchase or to restock the businessmen. So what is happening? They jack up the prices on a daily basis because there is a inordinate demand for these items, particularly the common ones, the basic ones. And then, of course, not getting foreign exchange as far as the merchants and businessmen are concerned, they then jack up prices higher, and as a consequence, Trinidad and Tobago as a whole suffers. And thus, of course, yesterday, it was not surprising when people started to say that yesterday they went and a tin of grapefruit juice is one price, and when they go back today, it's another price. Of course, always escalating. So that is the scenario. I'm carrying us back to the potential, the prospect that what is unfolding in Venezuela today can, of course, further exacerbate that situation in Trinidad.
It's still different. I don't agree with Mikey K. I do not agree with Mikey K. And your logic there, I agree with you, Lennox. But how you playing it down? You playing it down like Trinidadians are lazy. Well, that's how it's coming across. Well, it's coming across so. It's like you're playing.
I'm saying that Venezuela.
Yeah, that is what Lennox is saying. That's what Lennox is saying, and Lennox is correct because they're lazy on the missing money. They're lazy on dengue. They're lazy on dead babies. They're lazy on home invasions. They're lazy on murders. So what make it think will be lazy to work? If they're lazy to accept everything else, you feel they'll be lazy to work? Pay the Venezuelans. You don't deserve no 20-50. You don't stand up for nothing, but you have a problem with the little cacada you're getting. If I was Rowley, I ain't pay them at all.
But it is not fair, Mikey K, and I'm not buying your logic because Rowley doing them that and they're accepting it. I cannot buy that. It is no way, even Stevens, when it comes to Venezuelan and Trinidad working, compared to Trinidadian and Tobagonian working. At the end of the day, the business person have to pay NIS health charge for that worker that goes back to the treasury that will organize and go to let me say the health ministry or to the stabilize or to the fund. Somehow we have to pay all the Venezuelans is paying is just when the purchase. That's it. When a Trinidadian have to pay everything else.
Yeah, but what treasury input hire you to go and look for the money? What treasury You think business owners in sitting by and watching and seeing friends, family, and financiers getting everything in the treasury, and they're trying to see if they could carve out their own little niche? What are you talking about? Imbud hire you to go and look for we money? Imbud know which part the money is. It's not we that say the money missing. It's the Auditor General. So who take the money? Who take the money? They was lazy to go and find that. They must be lazy to work.
All right, Mikey. Are you any idea? It can never be even Stevens. All they're contributing towards we GDP is when they purchase and that's all, or travel.
Andy, of course,
we are the contributor everything.
All what you're saying, Andy, is applicable to locals in CPEP and URP. But guess what? We understand that, it is a current investigation, but we understand that the government has reverted back to the previous minimum wage, not the 2050. But there's something for 18 something for CPEP and URP workers. So the government is taking that kind of action against its own people. So there can be no example set, there can be no standard set, because the government is simply incompetent, evil, and lawless.
Man,
that is all good and well, but at the end of the day, the fox doesn't always catch the rabbit. The fox is running for his dinner, the rabbit is running for his life. The Venezuelans are working based on their life. The people of Trinidad and Tobago may not be consciously aware, but although they live in it on a daily basis, they still need some sense of confirmation that the middle class has been wiped out. They realize that they had 2 cars in the garage, now they're down to 1, and they're giving our next man to pull bull the same car that the family had to use. They realize they can't even go and pay for Harry's water park, so the dreams of going to Disney World will never take place. They didn't realize up to now that the place that they just go and buy chicken and chips from, that little Susie might end up working there, because the savings you had to send her to get some higher education, that savings gone. So the Venezuelans are fighting for their life. The people here have nothing to fight for. They're willing to accept anything. So do not pay them until they realize what suffering is really about, and they have that shame on their face. Then they will understand to stand their ground and to push back.
Mikey, the Venezuelans and them are putting a very serious strain on the healthcare system, partner. And the healthcare system is being funded.
The Venezuelans didn't kill babies. The Venezuelans didn't kill the babies. We're talking about, you think they closed the Cuba Health Center for this weekend to spray it? Did go there and do that? Did Jorge do that? Did Hector do that? Did Rodriguez do that? That is the government. You know why they do it? Because they know they could get away with it. When they could lie and say they're preparing for dengue since January of this year, and then to come and say they can't spray too much because the mosquito will become immune to the spray and the chemicals, all that utter rubbish. Nobody from Venezuela did that.
The same story like COVID, boy?
Man, let me go to the lines, eh?
Yes, let's go to the lines, people. We have had a healthy interaction among, of course, the players, so to speak, in studio. Now is your turn.
Yes, hi, good morning. St. Joseph here again.
Go ahead, St. Joseph.
Yes, I want to put another coal in the pot. There is an arrangement for countries to receive money from the UN for refugees. I am not sure how much Trinidad has collected, and I don't know where the money goes. Who collects it, if it's the government or if it's the Living Waters, who are their representatives here? That money is supposed to be used to supplement the care of the refugees who are here. And that was the purpose of registering them, as far as I understand.
But but before you continue, let me just think one thing before this message go, right? Because look at that people mentioning that they are trying to get their kids in elementary school and they don't have no space because some of the spaces is going by Venezuelans. How unfortunate! I born here. I am my children. I cannot get my child into elementary school because 5 of the spaces or 10 of the spaces gone because a Venezuelan gone with it, and my child had to stay home or had to pay for elementary school by the meanwhile. But yet still,
go ahead. But we have to take all of this information with a pinch of salt, because the numbers of the Venezuelan children I think there was about 200. And out of that, they all had to do tests to see if they would qualify to get into the school. It's not an automatic thing. And it is not one school or 5 or 10 schools. They are spread in different areas. So when people say, oh, it's because the Venezuelans, they have 5 spaces for them, I don't know where they're getting that information from. And we have to question, and the authorities are giving us no information. So in the absence of information, conspiracies will blossom. So we have to be sure who we targeting. And you see, refugees have a hard time because they have no home. And I feel sorry for them. I have to confess, I feel sorry for them. But at the same time, we have to make sure that the information is correct. And we need to ask the right people. Maybe we should have an interview with the Living Waters people, because of course the Minister of Education, that minister knows nothing. So maybe we should get some, or talk to the Principals Association and find out which schools and how many children in each will be allocated to each school, so that at least we will be talking the truth and not firing up anger and hatred against the foreigners. You know what I mean?
Yes,
we're supposed
you're right,
to be
madam.
we're supposed to be good. We need to be good.
We have to have compassion. Okay. We must show compassion.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank
Anybody, have a good day.
We must show compassion. Same to you, darling. We must show compassion. Yeah.
I've always said that this government
show compassion for we own first.
Misses the
but
boat.
What you saying is because they ain't showing compassion for themselves, as in attacking the government or not wanting to stand up for their own rights. Well, it means that what we must face that. So what?
Yeah,
so that is where you call vindictiveness. That is where you call because they're so stupid.
No, I am saying it. I am not here to throw the Venezuelans under no bus. That is the problem of society. It's looking for some scapegoat when it is that we don't want to stand up with our responsibility. As far as I know, Rodriguez, Hector, Gomez did not take the money from the treasury. They did not have people dying on the wards and mismanaging COVID. They didn't set about this whole dengue problem. We don't have eggs, not because of them. So I'm not throwing nobody under the bus. These people have a right to come here because you just occupying space. Let people come here who want to be productive. Let them come here who really want to work. Let them come here who really want to stand up and say enough is enough. And if you can't do it as a Trinbagonian, let somebody come from a foreign land and do it.
Yes, but
excuses.
Right, but in order to do it, they must be on the system. But they're doing it and they are not on the system.
What system? What system? It's only one system under this government, and that system is for friends, family, and financiers. Don't let me fool ourselves. Excuses is the tools of incompetence, and that is what this government has been giving us. And we so good, we picking it up and making excuses in order to save them. Rodriguez, Gomez, whoever come from Venezuela is not our social problem. The genesis of our social problem is Rowley and the PNM. I am not here to throw nobody else under the bus. And if they come here and they're working for a certain wage, well, stop paying the locals. The locals don't need money. Like, where you need money for? Where you need money for? To make excuses, to stay home and say, I'm there with you in spirit. Or let's go ahead and I love to hear the program. Or go and Mikey, come on. Andy Fiery. Or go Lennox, big word. I am not here to entertain people. It's time that we start putting policy in place. Because another 5 years, this is the reality. We're talking about, I'm not throwing the Venezuelans under the bus. Show some compassion.
Yeah, but you're throwing the Trinidadians under the bus because they're not standing up against the PNM government. And I don't think it can be two wrongs can make a right.
Oh, two wrongs can make a right, Andy. We're talking about we in the midst of a dengue pandemic. People dying from dengue. It didn't come from Venezuela. The genesis of it was right here in Trinidad, mismanaged by the LC and the government. The missing money wasn't missing because of Venezuela. The babies didn't die because of Venezuela. What are you talking about? Our problem is right here, homegrown. Not even Tobago won the PNM, but we accepting them. So we're talking about, look, man, I'm not here to make excuses. No? Not yet. It is time we start laying out policy. And the UNC must start laying out the policy to let us know, once you get into government, which you will, what are the changes that we can expect? Because we want to know right away. We are motivated to go to the polls. Whether they call it today, they call it tomorrow, but they have to call it. They must go.
Oh, God, boy. Let me go to the lines here. Like he dreamed Rowdy last night, boy. Rowdy and Mikey get real upset, boy. That man throwing a whole country. The man is a Trinbagonian. He born here. That man pelting all of we. We got it at 300 and something thousand a week. Ain't support the pain, you know. And we feeling the pain, you know. And because the others happy on them day, whether you're yellow, whether you're red, watch me all here. Go so, rock so. The Venezuelans is more important. Them make sense. And all the rest all here, they making no sense. Always a Trinidadian, you will make no sense. You that Trinidadian, you ain't worry about the other general report. Well, you make no sense. You dead. We don't want you here neither. You settle up. But I out of that this morning. Me and Lane, he take my interfere my brain at all. Let me go. The morning caller.
You have a caller? Go ahead, caller. Good morning.
Go ahead, caller. Better talk before Mikey, yes? Go ahead, caller.
Sorry for calling back so soon, but I had to respond to the lady there about the refugee and so forth. And yes, I understand where Mikey K is coming from, but Andy, I don't think that we should place all Trinidadians under the bus as well. So I see and I understand and I agree with Mikey K, but I also understand you and I agree with you that we cannot just place
killing everybody dead with you this morning, like Rowley. It was choking you last night, boy.
But I hear the anger and the sentiment, and I agree with the sentiment. But not paying minimum wage is also illegal. And why is the government allowing that? And why is the government allowing these persons? But we know why, right? Because I say friends and family. But I wonder, you see, we always talk about refugee this and refugee that and who refugee. Nobody asking why they reach here, you know. I went to in the first wave of the migration that came to Trinidad, right? And it's not these are not illegal migrants, you know, these are refugees. And the first day we went to some UV conference that they had, and the ambassador for Venezuela was also there. Several comments came up that many Venezuelans will return if Maduro goes because they are fleeing from political persecution as well. Why are we not feeling sorry for them in the country, but we're studying them here without a country? Nobody here standing up and asking why they had to flee. We don't want to admit that their fleeing has less to do with the economic conditions and to do with their political conditions, which also led to the economic conditions. So we cannot endorse and say we're giving them refugee status in our country because we don't want to call them refugees. You know what we were told to call them? Migrants, because refugee is a terminology that is used for political persecution. There's no economic refugee. That's not a terminology on the United Nations. So we as a country afraid to talk about the source of the migration and the source of the refugees in this country because it points straight to Maduro, and that is where we need to be talking about. All right, so I leave that there.
Yes, show some compassion. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, ma'am. Who's on the outside? Excuse. I know that.
Yeah, but my concern is, in spite of all of those variables and those factors and those nuances, is the policy position of this government. And you spoke to that, Mikey. In that it appears to be whimsical, it appears to be knee-jerk responses, consequential of external factors. For example, I have no doubt in my mind that is so-called registration of any and every Venezuelan that came here was a consequence of the poor performance of this government and the decision as far as the OS is concerned, as far as ECLAC is concerned, as far as the Lima Group is concerned, as far as Dr. Rowley's position on certain matters relating to Maduro and not Guaido, for example, and of course the return of some 80-something refugees or migrants, if you want to call it that, on our military.
Caller, sorry about that.
Yeah.
That's okay.
To send them back to Venezuela, and we don't know what is happening to them. It is that that has created the quagmire that we are seeing now. If it was handled differently, and if they had some kind of perspective, some kind of forethought on the matter, I'm just talking here, speaking to the
yes, Lennox. Yes, but Lennox, at the end of the day, that is all if and wishes. And if wishes was horses, beggars go ride. That is if. We know by now it's 9 years, and we still talking about if Rowley. You know what Rowley gives? What policy? There's only one policy: friends, family, themselves, and finances. That is the only policy. And I am not here to blame the Venezuelans who on the outside.
Yes,
I'm not blaming them either. I'm blaming the government.
Hold on, Lennox. We have a caller. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
Miss Roadbrook, go ahead, and Miss Central, you will go right after Miss Roadbrook.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Miss Roadbrook.
Okay. Okay, yeah, good morning, gentlemen. You know, it is always so interesting. Oh, gosh, I can't miss my gong with God bless all you. But Mikey, I agree with you. Because you know what? Everything that is taking place in this country is because, as I say a million times, and I say every day, is because of the people. You know, they're not supposed to cry when they always say, when you make yourself a doormat, don't cry when people walk on you. You understand? If the Venezuelans come in here and they want to work, and the Trinidadians, they don't want to work, who fault is that? Who fault is that? You want to tell me you living in a country with people that have sense, and for 9 years these people in this country sit down and let PLM do them what they want, when they want, how they want. Not on one occasion we had a massive protest about anything, so many wrong things, and then all you're talking about this and that. They like it, so you understand? When you see the people in this country, they do not stand up for anything. Mikey, you're so right. And when anything happen now, they're looking for this one to blame, and they look in the mirror, or they have all yourself to be blamed. And you know what it is? They addicted to the PNM. They're afraid Rowley's a bully. He's want to be going in, but man, but they're afraid he. Camilla, who nice and decent and soft and willing to help them, they have no respect for her. That is the problem. The only 2 times I could remember we had any kind of protest in this country was in 1990. PNM was not in government. When we had the day of policing, when the whole country shut down, PNM was not in government. So all you watch the pattern of these people. Like, we keep it real. Look, we have now this, and we're talking about people going to the revenue authority and whatever it is. Down to the media and all lying, as the lady called and said yesterday. They said that so many percentage was supposed to accept the offer, and it is not so. But I am I am asking these people, all you stand up at all your union, hold on, fight for what is right. You hear, because but and them can't always have their way. They always in the negative. Suppose we use the job. Suppose when Rowley had told them, if all they get the back pay, or they might get the back pay, and all they will lose all your job. Everybody panic and they keep quiet. Rowley just have to stand up and play bully for them and make a rough bully statement, and everybody get in the corner and tremble. The people is the problem at this country, because as I always say, if the people unite and they come out in the hundreds and thousands and tell this government, we ain't taking that. Why are we as a people allowing these people to carry up things in the grocery, to take away the education from the children? Why are we allowing them to build? Look, down there by my family in the Martin, you should see the amount of construction. They build a big library that costs hundreds of millions to see there. It is locked up. It is locked up. You understand? They have a health center. The Turkish people go outside there every morning, 6 o'clock, rain or shine, and then leave them like dogs stand up on the pavement. They would not
open the gate for the people to go in and sit down. Who is to be blamed for that? The people stand up for nothing. Let me tell all you this now. I didn't born 70 years, you understand? And through my years of doing business and coming through, I never had a problem anyway. Because you know why? I born here. I know my rights, and that is what the people in this country don't seem to know their rights. If I go in the bank to see about business, I get through. If I go at the credit union to see about business, I get through. If I go anywhere, because you know why? I know my rights. And when everybody says, "Don't get fussing," I will go up to who in authority and say, "Hey, Anna, X, Y, and Z," and trust me. As I say what I have to say, and I present whatever it is, I get through immediately because you know why? I know my rights and I was brave and bold and strong. The people in this country, they're too coward. They're too lazy, Mikey. You're 100% right. I agree with you. If they want good, they have to stand up and fight for what they want. You understand? And stop allowing people to have them panicking. Stop having people, having them being afraid. Everything. Why it is? Nearly over 1 million are we fighting. And we have these so-called people in authority who are doing everything that is against the people. Any law the PLM make is to put pressure on the people. Anything the PLM do is to make the people suffer. They are in government, they are seen about their friends and their family, Mikey, you're so right, and the rest of the people who don't even seem to know. People don't even know their rights. They don't know what they are entitled to in this country as citizens. And now we have the Venezuelans coming in. Here now, all of we go have to be able to stand in a corner just now because you know why? Them go be talking Spanish and we going to understand what they're saying and here go belong to them because you know why? The people allow them. You have living water, even my church, the Catholic Church, the way they're looking out for the Venezuelans. You think they're looking out for the churn and Beatam? What about the churn and Beatam and in Laventille and in Diego Martin and all over Trinidad who can't get a proper education? The Catholic Church looking out for them? No. I could tell you, they're looking out for the Venezuelans. Who are allowing that? Who are the cause of that? Everything that is going wrong in this country, who are the people who are allowing it to go wrong? The Venezuelans? No, the Trinidadians. Everything, they keep them quiet, they're frightened, they're afraid. Well, you know something, as they say, all you are a set of doormats, and the PNM walk all over all you for 9 years, and they're going to continue walking over all you if all you do not get up. Because I'm telling you, as I said, let me go.
Yeah, but Mommy Rodbrook, right, I understand the direction where you and Mikey going over. But remember, it are people that not supporting the PNM and they haven't. So why everybody must suffer for the ones who uplifting the PNM?
The point is this, it's not a matter of suffering, nobody suffering. The point is this, the people who are suffering is because they want to suffer. Why people feel they're powerless? Why people feel they can't do anything? When you look, you're not a fool, people not stupid. You look at a situation and you see the situation is unfair. You see the situation is not right to the people. Why it is everybody can unite and say, you know something? This is not what we should be getting as citizens, and we are going to fight for it. You understand? But the people are not fighting. Let me forget who is PNM, let me forget who is UNC, who forget who is wherever. And let me look at we as Trinidadians, as citizens of this country. Are we getting what we are entitled to? Are we being treated fairly? And why are we not being treated fairly? Because we do not demand what we are entitled to. You're going to tell me people did not get increased how much, 13 years or 12 years, how much years? And then you have a government who have billions of dollars wasted, and you're going to tell the people who are working in this country, who are responsible for the affairs of this country, you are going to give them 4%. And what do they do? Everybody accept the 4% because you know why they figure it's either I take 4% or lose my work. Them in studying are not taking 4% because the country has money and I am working and I am contributing to the economy and everything of this country and I am entitled to more 4%, more than 4%. Why didn't they all get together and shut down the country and let them know I am working, I am supposed to be paid properly? No, everybody run like a set of fighting Friday and they take the money. Why you think Rowley and the parents doing what they're doing? Because you know why? Because they know they could get away with it. They know they can do anything and get away with it. And that is on who to be blamed. The people do not stand up for anything. You have the hospital. basic things people don't have in the hospital. Are people going by the hospital and saying, you know something? We are entitled to get X, Y, and Z. The country has the money. Are we going to know? They ain't talking about that. You have Emberg cannot account for over $3 billion. What the people saying about that? Everything they do, Andy, is no consequences. The people are more than them. Law is law, right is right, and in this country we have a certain clique of people that are breaking the law. They are encouraging lawlessness, and they know it. They know it, but as long as they bank and account big and the pocket full, they don't care. And the little man, the people on the ground, the ordinary people, the ones who feeling the pressure, real pressure, are the ones who all they have to do is come out in the numbers, come out in the thousands, and say we are not taking this. Unity is strength, and they are not doing it. So the people are giving the government the permission to do all what they are doing. They are too lazy. And you know, the only body they feel is PLM, you know. They feel only. If you think, tell me, Andy, you think Kamala Prasad Bissessa as your government could have done even 2% of what this PLM people getting away with for years? You have to be crazy. You know, it's not days, you know, Andy. It's years. Look at the amount of wrong things. Look at the amount of people dying. You're going to tell me, Andy, my heart is bleeding. Like yesterday, I had to turn off Ian Allen because you know why I say something? I can't stand to hear who murdered again. And you're going to tell me you have a ministry and national security and we have no kind of security in this place? And how you think I just feel, or people just when you hear a man in his house, they went in and they strangle him and for what, a pensioner. How do you feel every day? Every day is more and more murder and absolutely nothing is being done. You tell me when these police, I'm just saying they're supposed to be trained. These people they have different sections that they're supposed to be training. You want to tell me you can't apprehend a criminal nowhere, and it's not that you don't know, you know, they know, but again, the people allow even the police to get away with what is going on. You won't tell me things. What things in a car could stop murder? The amount of dotations they come up with. You have a Minister of National Security who is a non-performer. Before you move here, long time, you put another fool. I want to see it's dumb and dumber. I want to see what the other one going and do now. Oh God, Andy, look at the amount of wrong things in this country. Look at the amount of wrong things in this country. Everything is wrong, and nobody, the people not coming out. The only way you can oppose our government is to come out on the street in the hundreds of thousands and say, we not are taking that, and the PNM must go. You understand? And then to pick up the whole program. Blessings to all you. Blessings to all you. And hello?
Yeah, you go ahead. Blessings to us.
Yes. Blessings to all you. You know, it is a good program, and you know, the top point is this, we all come out here and only talk the truth, whether who agree or who disagree. Even when that other clown calling in every minute, the Port of Spain. Yesterday I hear him say, I am the something at the UNC, but I don't mind. He can say what he wants because
Port of Spain was on you too.
Yes, he's a PNM dance. Yes, I tell you, PNM can come out Monday morning and tell them, oh God, all you go and get all your winter coat and come out snowboarding just now. And he like he saw, will run his side just about a winter coat and come out and stamp in the hot sun and sweat to death. So you see them, so me ain't bother with them.
Yeah,
but
you gotta leave them. Thank you,
leave them. But anyway, God bless all, and regardless of what, we're going to continue talking. This program is a serious program. This program is a program that brings the facts. This is the program that talk the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Blessings, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, next caller, morning caller, where calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report this morning?
In the tropics, boy.
Pleasant good morning, Andy. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Central here. May God continue blessing all of you at the ground report and continue enlightening the country from right from wrong. Andy, we loving the topic here now. Always breakfast we in the morning time, you know. If we get all you, we can't function, you know. Yeah, there's the word on the ground. Always the best out of the best. You understand? Everything that we're doing is always being blessed and highly favored by the Almighty. So the topic concerning about these Venezuelans and them, right? Here what's going on. One apple is spoil the whole bunch. This is my opinion, right, Andy?
I want to hear your opinion. Let me hear your opinion, Miss Central.
Nice. I was feeling sorry for them just the same way. But you see, when I start to understand and see videos and see things for myself, I just couldn't believe it. I can't understand it. You understand? Knowing that this is when them come here to get help, to get a better living, right? We are all human beings, maybe in different colors, race, or whatever the case is, right? But at the end of the day, all they can't come, leave all the country and come here and do a sort of mad thing. All they do is sort of crime. All they do is sort of home invasion, all kind of mad thing, and pretend like all they can't talk for English. You understand? Many times they catch them lying. You understand? When they see now, you're telling them, they say, yeah, what's going on now? We really want to we play so because at the end of the day we are allowing all to do things. Look what going with the farmer, the man minding for about how long, the turn back and right for the man and look what the kind of wickedness to do to the man. Eh? No, in my book and my opinion, as a child born from a Venezuelan, all of them have to go back. Every single one. But we will never blame them because they never bring themselves here. Who come to the back door? Well, you know that's how the order going with them on the outside. But the reason why they are here is because the government allowed them to be here. And the government born lying. They will be running our country corrupted lying. And they will be leaving lying. You understand? Because they said they bring them here for 2 years. Just so they sell them out and this and the other. When they look sharp, the whole of Venezuela nation that are here. You understand? And it's so truth. They come to take food out of people's mouth. No, I ain't saying that they're not lazy. You know. They are lazy. But at the end of the day, we know it's money. We know it's value for money. You understand? You can't work me for $5 and they won't pay the man $2 because I know the profit of my labor. You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that until they got to get serious and come out like they never come out before and let these people them know. Call a general election because we're only looking to push ahead like Maduro and look to rig this election. And we don't want that. You see what's going on right now? You see what's going on now? They're making jokes across there right now. We don't want to want PNM and we don't want to see nothing resemble PNM neither because nobody and everybody is making no joke. Right now it's free rent mobilization taking place in communities from the oldest to the youngest, from the smallest to the biggest. They're making no joke. They say PNM nothing. So I hope all the supporters will listen, which is the PNM supporters. Right now, the majority of them on the ground down here say nothing for them. The dogs proper smoke the pipe, nothing for them. And the dead serious about what they're saying. Because enough is enough. People suffering, people getting murdered every single day, and nothing coming outside and say, thank God for Yanalen. You understand? Thank God for Yanalen. Yanalen might like you in shopping or whatever the case is, but the man is solving crime. You understand what's going on with them police and them? What's going on with them investigator units? Why these people are them getting paid? Them supposed to get shut down the same like a shut down petition. Send on them people them like they're going to plant some garden. They're not solving a crime in this country. If you get murder and the grass has blood on it, they're taking that all and going with it. And they can't solve the crime yet. Oh God, how much money is on the ball? How much family has to keep balling? But why people wicked so for the cell, boy? Why the wicked and evil so, boy? Eh? Come on then, man. Well, you know the right thing. Let me do the right thing and get rid of these people once after all. And let me pull. Go report on the topics. Because they have to make it by. Look at them fighting for everybody. Come on now, man. What are the radio station doing this? Eh? All of the players that are rubbish and garbage. Go report the lighting you, the teaching you, the showing you right from wrong. They want to come like we leaders, or they come like we parents, or they keep teaching we every single day. That's why God has bless all here and highly favor all here. And then may God continue blessing all here. Trinidad and Tobago, when this date and time call, all you come out even before, that time call 6 o'clock, come out from 3 in the morning. Line up and just even brush on them out. Just come out and they start to get rid of them. They only have to do it. And then to go realize PNM has to go and PNM must go. And it's back.
Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Yes. Well, Central, was one message from somebody there. Susan Jones say, Central, you need Jesus on a morning, not Andy. He not good. Right.
What kind of talk is that?
Yeah,
what kind of talk is that?
Lead them.
And I sure that message is not from Jorge. No Venezuelan didn't send that message.
Oh, so that we're talking
No
about.
Venezuela. Let me tell you something here, Lennox and Andy. Let me get honest here with these people here. And I tell you all once and for all. There's going to be a day soon before the next general elections because they need a little time. Let me say about 6 months. Some government, whether it be Stuart Young or whoever, is going to come and address this nation at some post cabinet and said that, as you know, we have been processing the Venezuelans. Yes, this word migrants. We have been processing the migrants. And many of you who have this perception that these people are just elements from our neighboring land. No, they are not. We were able to find medical practitioners, physical therapists, paralegals, lawyers. They were telling you that. And government has decided to put out legislation to integrate migrants into the government system. Yes. And Rowley will tell you.
So we locals can't get work. There's over 200 and something thousand people that say waiting for public service work in Trinidad and Tobago. And you saying they're going to weigh out something and put the Venezuelans?
They don't qualify. They don't qualify. This is legislation to integrate them into the government system to work, because the PNM always understands that when you hire people in these ministries, it's all part of their voting bank. They need a new voting bank. So they are going to tell you that these people are well qualified. And because of the turmoil and chaos taking place in their country, we have no choice. We need to have these people reclassified. And to reclassify them, of course, is to start integrating them into the government system. That's right. Your work that your mother and father like to beat the chest back in the days and say, my daughter, my son walking in the street. That work gone. It will not be for you. It is about setting up a new voting bank. So if you want to take these people and throw them, I am saying it again, Jorge did not come and say that he is not shutting down Petrotrain. Rodriguez didn't come. When the Auditor General asked the question about the money, she did not pose that question to Jorge or Rodriguez or Pablo. At the end of the day, Rowley can only get away what you allow him to get away with. Stop looking for scapegoats. Something is wrong, people. It is time we start focusing on policy. We want this government out. We need to be serious and start preparing for their exit. The UNC's policies are out there. If you're not seeing them, ask them fit. Go to the budget consultations and get involved. Stop looking for scapegoats. Excuses are the tools of the incompetence. And for 9 years, we've been getting excuses because this government led by Rowley and the PNM is incompetent. They do not like you. They have no love for you. They have no compassion for you. They're setting up a new voters bank so they can stay in office. You have to get real with it, people. Talking about minimum wage and all that. If Jorge come in here in order to make sure that the PNM win, Jorge will be allowed. If Pablo come in here to undermine the UNC, Pablo will be allowed. And they are being allowed because you sitting idly by and watching everybody business and you're not tending to your register. You are not tending to your business.
Bang, bang, bang.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Good morning, caller. Where are you calling from? What's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from St. Paul Street.
Go ahead, St. Paul Street.
I love the program this morning. And I want to tell Miss Central and Miss Woodbrook, thanks very much for their contribution. I love to hear the rapport this morning between Mikey, Lennox, and yourself. And today, I too want to make a little observation. The observation is that I accustomed calling Ramco to make my little order for my 100-pound cylinder. To my dismay, when I called, I was being told that now I have to pay $35 more to the truck driver because the vehicle, the big truck, can't come around here. And I'm trying to tell the young lady, the big truck never used to come. It's the small vehicles coming to drop it. But in this country, everybody doing us what they want. I am a member of the Ground Report. And anytime when you say, let us go, I go in. And like Central, when I wake in the morning and I don't say my prayers, I have to take my coffee, which is the Ground Report. And election day, I can't wait. I wish it was tomorrow. Anyhow, thank you very much for the contribution that we have this morning. And it seems as though Mr. Porter Spain have a direct call to the line. Because every time we try to call, this man could call 4 or 5 times. Why, Andy, when you hear him, you can't just give him a little click? He ain't making no sense. Not till you go and report. He have another station he could go on. Thanks very much, and may God bless you, and have a good day. Love you.
Hey, Mikey, tell me to allow him. Mikey say, Mikey say, all they want to be Mikey. Mikey K say allow Port of Spain. All you have to hear the truth. He said that. Yeah, all you have to hear the truth.
Street Port of Spain, marvelous contribution. That speaks volumes, man.
Lennox, you're surprised or what, Lennox?
No, I'm not surprised, but I am increasingly very optimistic.
Morning, caller.
Wonderful contribution.
Morning, gentlemen. Morning, gentlemen. Calling from the Barrack Point.
Go ahead, Barrack.
Yeah, Barrack.
Gentlemen, this morning I want to agree with Mikey 120% of everything that he said. Now, you see, and this goes back again to what has always been saying. Unless the people who suffer in this country start looking for betterment, upliftment, rather than leadership, that is only when things start to go better in this place. Now, let me just put a little analysis of all the different cultures that came into this country. The Syrian them came as a minority. Look, they find a place. They find a place at the highest realm of our society. The Chinese come, they find a place. The East Indian come, they find a place. You know, all these groups of people didn't looking for no leadership. They could have put the Queen of England to lead them. They didn't want no leadership. They wanted to know how to better themselves and better the future for them, their children, and all who are next to come. So they will focus on that. PNM governed this country for 30 years non-stop, and every other ethnicity profited and benefit and uplift themselves and their community. The ones them who was looking for leadership from the PNM for those 30 years, where are they still today? Like the one that's called from Port of Spain. Now, a lot of the African people wake up early and say, you see this nonsense that's going on here, Eric Williams, me accepting that stupidness. If the other groups who live in Trinidad and Tobago could do it by themselves, I could do it too. And they found a place in Trinidad and Tobago. That's why you see a lot of African people would not support Rowley and PNM. They wake up, but they wouldn't want to come out in the public and say it because they know they will be chastised like how they do Morgan Job and the few people who would come out and openly say that all the philosophy and the policies of PNM is not good for the country or the people. So they do what they had to do. They secretly buy the land, build a house, they educate the children, they find a place, and they live quiet lives and nice, comfortable lives. The Venezuelan come in here, they would find a place. They're already finding a place. Like I see them, they're driving now, in a little car, they're setting up business. They would find a place and they would not go back to Venezuela. We and the people who keep on supporting PM had to do some retrospection among themselves and say, 65 years we under this regime, and why can't we find our place? Why we had to get up in the morning and instead of go to work, say we're going to make a hustle? Why it is when wake up in the morning and his birthday come around, he had to say, I wonder if the man go come and gift for me, boy. I wonder, the mother saying, I wonder if the child father go pass through today and bless up the boy. Why it is when a child born into this PNM community, when bookless time come out, they had to go and look to beg around the block to get old used books and things. Ask themselves that. And then they had to say, hey, here what? Are we going to risk in our next generation because of color of somebody's skin or the type of the hair they have to continue to follow somebody who have the same color skin and the same type of hair like me and continue suffering? That is why. And unless they break that mental shackles of the chain and stop getting chained up by Rowley every time he say a banana and a black man and this kind of thing, they say, hey, we're not accepting that anymore. You get away with that for too long. Watch all the people in your circle how nice and comfortable they live in. Why it is we can't even get a little piece of that comfort in our lives. Rowley 9 years made African men from the age of 16 to 40 an endangered species in this country. That anytime people who are that age group living in this country and belong to a community, their life at danger because anytime they could get killed. And this is what the questions are is. My young African friends and brothers had to be so scared to live in a country where everybody's supposed to be comfortable. In the morning, this whole country is supposed to be getting up. It's supposed to not even have a place in the country for people to work. For the amount of jobs and things supposed to be created in this country. Instead, drive through all the communities in this country right now, this hour, this morning, and see how my young fellas just on the block doing nothing. Wake up, people. Have a good morning, gentlemen. Take care.
Thank you, but you remember it have nothing for that to do. Go ahead, researcher. Pleasant good morning to you.
Morning, Andy, Mikey, Director Cuff, Lennox.
My good friend.
What's up, boy? They have nothing for them to do. You watch all the Christmas list videos. The fellas and them, plenty of them want to work. They cannot get work. And let me tell you something. You see what all them think. What this police service doing, boy? What these ministers in the Ministry of National Security really doing, boy? Besides trying to tax the living daylight out of the poor man. This new tint regulation, what you feel like going to stop crime? So what you telling me, Andy, Lennox and Mikey, is that the bandit them going to start to drive around clear glass? Because we the bandit who does rob the Chinese grocery next to our police station, afraid that license officers go pull we over? You really believe that? Hey, if I go in Toko, I could punch Waze on my phone and I will tell you where every single police is. So all them roadblock, waste of time, all them tint regulation is only to harass law-abiding people. Some who trying to hide behind the tint from the bandit. Why we are allowing? We are the government, boy. Why we sitting down and allowing these people to do this thing? You have to live in fear of your own government. You install a government to be in fear of the government. The bandits them happy today. Rejoice July the 29th, victory. All who hiding behind all your tent, we gonna know how many people in all your car and who with all you and when all you coming and when all you going. The local go say, yeah, she alone in the car. Yeah, the daughter alone. Yeah, the cousin alone in the car. They come in.
Talk, researcher, talk.
Hey, people have to wake up, boy. As the last caller, they don't know black man thing and thing, boy. This is oppression, boy. We sitting down and taking oppression, boy. This government has to be held accountable. We cannot go down this road. Them fellas when they devising ways to tax free. Inspection, tax. Your tire bad, tax. Demerit points, tint, tax. Demerit points, take away your permit. You have no money to pay. Just like property tax or interest, just so you have to go and pay interest on ticket fee. You go and license officer transfer car. Hey, you have ticket pending partner. No service for you. Your demerit points pile up. No service for you. You sitting down and paying men to do with this thing, boy. And boy, my party, boy. This cannot go on like this. When will people in Trinidad and Tobago wake up, boy? People suffering out here, boy.
Them open the Pandora box now. So man can stay by the corner, see how many people leaving the house, how in the car.
Now, boy.
What,
boy? And the preacher, like I just want to know, like, wait now, but I'm in a different time zone, I'm in a different world. Like nobody is seeing them thing. And then the government has come with some official narrative and say, hey, only hear what's going on. No, we pocket Scotland. And watch now, we come up with a new initiative here, Operation Tax All You for Tint. And stupid people out there saying, yes, the government, you had to get them, you had to help them, you had to assist. For those who don't know, every major corner and all over the place are CCTV cameras in this country. The government, the police could sit down and track the white tea that was shoot the man. They could track the wagon was shoot the man. They could do it. They could sit down for 15 minutes. What they need help for? Let them send for the ground report. We go come and help them. Because like some of them are no brain. I'm sorry to say it, so upset here. You see CCTV footage. You seeing where the bandit was smoking with the glass down. You seeing everything. You don't need to come and harass poor people. Stop lying and balling. This is about crime. This is about taxation. This is about our government coming up and guns that all of a sudden know all we don't have water and no he pointing in place over the next 12 months. All of a sudden you there for 9 years, brother, and all of a sudden you know about over the next 12 months. You know all who don't have water and all who don't have a supply.
Yeah, because it's elections. It's because it's elections.
Election gimmicks. People need to get up, boy. People need to wake up. This is nonsense, boy. According to Mikey, wake up.
Boy.
Yes, I agree.
Reverberation is loud and powerful, man.
Yes, but again,
I agree.
Again, our inactions are fueling all the ills of this society. I'm going to repeat that. Our inactions are fueling all the ills of this society. All that researcher talk about, I'm certain that people know. But where's the focus? You want me to focus on Venezuela and the Venezuelans? When Maduro stands in front of his people and he understands them well because he knows that he is living with the sword of Damascus over his head, he know he's skating on thin ice. He don't tell them that a woman should be groomed like a golf course. You're mad? You want people to take to the streets while they're suffering? He don't tell them how to choose their partner. He don't say that black people are a disappointment and all about fire license under Gary and cassava could save the economy and UNC should mind the business and how Petrotrin was draining the treasury. Maduro ain't go talk that kind of nonsense. It's only the people here. That is what we accept. So all that researcher talked about, the criminals are fuel, they are led and driven by our inactions. We don't do nothing, but we like to blame. We blame this one and blame that one. You ain't understand up to now that the middle class has been wiped out. It's been wiped out. I understand you could still go and buy a loaf of bread, maybe a piece of cheese, and you still feel that everything is well. No, it is not. It is not. If you don't want to admit to yourself that you're now poor, that you're living under the economic poverty line, I go tell you. We go tell you. You know why? Because we live in it every day. We live in it every day. You're talking about...
Morning, caller.
I want to address Mr. I think it's Barpo. Every day and a day in, day out, he come and preach a certain race, talking about the black people and the little black boys. Down in them Indian community, the suffering, the massive suffering, people catching the royal down there. But he ain't seeing that, but he still want to put the African against it. It won't work. All they try that, the UNC tried that years upon years, election after election, and it did not work. It did not work. The little African boys, they're seeing through all now. All they don't come and try this reverse psychology. Yes, we know people catching the tail. We agree that, we accept that. But you feel these singers and the men catching the tail like that? On that camera and they didn't catch the tail? They like baton, camera, we don't see camera, we don't see this one. But let the election come tomorrow, they're going back and voting them though. They're still going back and so what is wrong if the Africans and them, the PNM supporters do it? What is wrong? Is it good for the UNC and not good for the PNM? All again, real man. And this next one who talking, I see that stupidness. Where she name from St. Paul Street, the gas company must want to come, all they robbing them, all them little and them delivery, all they distressing them, all they robbing them. So why the hell they must come and risk their life to come and make all they happy? Let the gunmen and them who is distressing them, when the time comes, let them put all the tank in the vehicle and go and get it.
Who's on the outside? Hey, Andy, I sent you a number. I sent you a number before we go. Call that lady, please. Call that lady. I sent you the number. That warrior princess.
All
right.
Call her.
First set of people I know contented with punishment.
Yeah, boy.
They don't mind committing suicide. And one group of people that is creating that havoc is that of the PNM, and they will not accept that as a fact. Poor exercise in reverse psychology. The fact of the matter is that when the UNC is in government, whether you consider them Indian or not, the African community benefits more as from under and as a consequence of the presence of the African. And Rowley said it. He said that he is disappointed on an Emancipation Day. Tomorrow is Emancipation. Well, he said that on one that he is disappointed that the Africans. He's disappointed with the Africans. They have not progressed in the way that they ought to. Totally oblivious to the fact that they, for over 40 years, a so-called African administration, a so-called African party, has been in charge of the affairs of this country. Port of Spain was once African dominated in terms of businessmen. Today it's not the case. In Chaguanas, it was dominated and continues to be dominated by Indians. So there must be some introspection and some, because there is a retrogression under the watchful eyes of the PNM.
I don't see that. Rowley was right. Dr. David Mohammed didn't rebuke that. Kafra Kambon didn't rebuke that. Telwin Kojo didn't rebuke that.
That's right.
When Rowley said that we are disappointment, I didn't hear the voices of those people who's supposed to be black conscious and leading the black community. They said nothing.
The blind leading the blind. That's what's happening there. Yeah. And we are just a breath of fresh air as Africans ourselves. Good morning.
She didn't say it.
She didn't say it?
No. During incident.
Yes.
We warrior princess,
breath of fresh air. That is what we are doing here. The paradigm shift must begin now and with us. We understand the problem just as anybody else. But to tell us that we must...
Morning, caller. They're not warrior yet. She's still ringing. So why is she ringing?
We're trying to call warrior princess. Trying to call warrior princess live because the situation with her son and she's not answering.
Pleasant
Who's on the outside?
Morning. Andy Fagrandi.
Morning to you.
Mikey K.
Good morning.
Mr. Lennox and Brown.
Good morning to you.
I want to commend Ms. Woodbrook this morning for raising the point and people do not know their rights. That is so correct. Ms. Chaguanas, we get everything here in the morning. She spoke on immigration. Mr. Barakpour, on unemployment for the youth. Very good presentations this morning, keeping the people alive, and that is why I took that direction this morning. Andy, we still have our pre-budget consultations. Today it's going to be at the Penal Presbyterian School, or Opuchu West Penal Presbyterian School, today, August 31st, 2024. It's been a success so far. We have a lot of people coming out, and I am calling on people to come out and let your voices be heard. It is so important. Come out, please, and let your voices be heard. Have a great day, gentlemen. We want to live better. Thank you.
All right, Paula. Thank you. I'm going to take our next call there. Morning. Oh, boy. Nice. Oh, boy. Last caller. Let me see if I have any voice notes before we go through that. Morning, caller.
Yes, me again from St. Paul Street here. I want to remind Mr. Porter Spain, if he really reading papers as he running up him out on the radio, nobody ever come around here from St. Paul Street and say that they get robbed, especially gas truck, goods truck. If you did read last week Newsday, you would have get a message. Belmont is the place. Don't get tired. Belmont is not St. Paul Street, and St. Paul Street is not Belmont. Okay? Have a good day. You're so dotish.
Hold on. Next caller. Morning.
Morning.
Turn down your volume.
Morning, caller. Down volume.
Morning. Andy.
Your volume, turn it down.
Yeah, turn down my volume. See what's going on now? That PNM dance to the school every morning. Oh, what Andy, all give me a quick that. But nevertheless, see what's happening now. All you realize, I watched the singing in Venezuela, where 70% of the people in Venezuela voted against Maduro. And that will have a serious impact on Trinidad and Tobago. And I hope people in Trinidad and Tobago, they had to come out. We have to come out and stand against this wicked, tyrannical government we have in this country here. Rowley and them have to go. And they have to go. And I mean, they must go. And it's that.
Morning.
But how that go have an impact on us?
Immigration.
Immigration, how? They're going to integrate them into the government system?
Oh, so they're glad for that. So.
I don't understand that. So you bring home a report card, right? With only D's. My brother or sister bring home a report card with A's and B's. And you want to get dessert too at the dinner table? Nothing for you. You have done nothing. You don't understand? All you have done is blame everybody, but you don't want to take responsibility. Again, no Venezuelan took the money that is missing. The Auditor General did not ask Maria or Jose or Pablo for the missing money. The people who have been lying to us at post-cabinet conferences and on the platform is Rowley and the PNM, not Maria or Jose or Pablo. The fact of the matter, all these murders, all these home invasions, all of this is not under the watch of Maduro. It's Rowley and the PNM. Dengue, dead babies. Let me tell you something. We worse than the people that we are afraid to come here. We worse than them because at least they're doing based on the fact that they're looking for a better life. Venezuelans are saying we must live better and we will live better in Trinidad. The Trinidadians are saying, oh, we go compromise and we will do nothing and allow the government to get away with political murder. So we're talking about we worse than the people that we are afraid to come here. I'm tired of these excuses. Every morning is excuse after excuse. Action is needed. Words are useless. Excuses are useless. When action is needed, it is time for action.
Bang, bang, bang.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy. I feel Rowley real choky last night. Go ahead, caller.
Morning again, gentlemen. Barakwa again here. Gentlemen, the sun come out, so Port of Spain must be happy. He could go across the road by the Chinese grocery and cash in the food card. But I don't vex with the man. I sympathize with the man. If I could do something to help him out, to better himself, better thinking, charter a little direction for his future if he have children and things, I could also volunteer for that. He's a brother, he's a Trinidadian. We're supposed to put out our hands and help the less fortunate and the people who cannot think for themselves. But, you see, and it all comes back down to this again. You supporting a government, and this is not race thing and all kind of thing. That when a Syrian dies in them community, the whole community is shaken up. When the Chinese dead, well, you don't see them have funeral. I don't know what they do with the dead people. But in every community, when people dies, it is come out and it is have a little shock to the community and thing. You have a man will lead in a community for nearly 10 years, and every single year that went by, over 500 people were killed under his governance. Out of those 500, about 85% was African people. If that doesn't say something about your leadership, what else you want somebody to say? And then you go, and also can understand and see beyond the picture why it is we killing each other, why it is we targeting each other, why it is I live on this street and my neighbor live on that street and we can come in the middle and sit down and drink a beer together. We have to have borders. Something is right. And if you as a big elderly person cannot understand that, I live in the Southland and I could go any part of this whole southern area, any day, anytime, any hour. and sit down and drink comfortable, lime comfortable, play cards, play cricket, play football in any community. And people who I don't know at all would embrace and say, hey, come, let me cook something, let me do something, let me live in peace. Why it is that can happen in the main stronghold in all your community? And you asking yourself, if it's not leadership, how could it not be leadership? How could it not be that, hey, here what? Look, Skeet Scotland, where he living? Down in Cocorite on the high terrace up on the bourgeois area. He driving in and out that community every day. Where you seen in Carnage and thing, you seen man smoking, people on drugs, people catching the tail, but they put in out to see about security for all to be safe again, and we accepting that, and then you could come and talk about Indian African and thing. Let me tell you something. People are afraid to talk about the thing. Majority of my personal friends is African people, and when we sit and we talk and we reason, and they understand. They don't want him not PNM, man. They don't want him think about even a balize around the house again, because they know that their parents, their grandparents, were kept back because of the PNM governance, the mentality. When a man who,
when a man who is, go ahead. Next caller you wait, third foreign caller you hold on. Right after Barrow you will talk. Hold on.
Minister of a country. When a man is the first prime minister of a country and he get an opportunity to make a country into a gem, to put the ideology of the people that living in the country, to unite them and to bring them out, and you could divide them from small and say, hey, here what? I setting up a school system. Yes, it's free education, but here what? If your children can't pass this exam, they're done. Out of school, your school career ended. Then come an entrance. And then now, you divide it even further now and say, here what? You go to a 5-year school, you go to a junior sec. You go to morning shift, you go to evening shift. Because you know what? I started to divide the mentality from small to lay all know that how. It's better than you, and it's better than you. No children, no child in this world had done so. It's just that how some might have the better opportunity for when and the resources to pass an exam, and others might not have it. But that don't mean to say the child that didn't pass didn't have it. It just means that what the child who passed, the child that didn't pass didn't have. So how are we going to make this child now that didn't pass equal to the other one that passed? So we have to say, hey, here what? Do you need books? Do you need a little extra teaching? What kind of lighting you have home? You have a good comfortable area to study and thing? Let me help you and bring that everybody to the same level. But Eric William decide here what? As soon as all your children can pass the exam, all your done, come out of school, find all your way. You go to a 5-year school, you go get a good work and thing. You who didn't have the opportunity to really better yourself, you go a junior sec. When your mother them go to work and thing, you come home, you have nothing to do, waste time, same thing. And that is people them thing. They go, ball free education, but free education for what? To make we dance, to divide us. Man, look, put us buy a little bread and your piece of butter and eat and relax yourself. Have a good morning, gentlemen. Later. Yeah.
All right.
Next,
hey, don't forget the
UNC
caller. Pre-budget consultation. We have a foreign caller. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, caller.
Hi, morning. I'm calling from Brooklyn.
Yes, go ahead,
New
Brooklyn.
York. I listen to your program every day, and you guys are my coffee in the morning. I sit on my job here and really listen to the program. And sometimes some of these people, they just don't make no sense. But then again, the PNM have inculcated in these people and them from birth, because a baby here, what goes on from in conception, okay? And some of them, no matter what you do, they like Rumpel, they would continue to be PNM till they die. You could back all of them in a corner in the beach of Mayaro and drum all of them. They still knowing they're going to jump, but they still voting PNM. But let me tell you something. Arnold Roberts and all, in the UNC they talk about we put things in place. They had. Well, I'm an American. Put things in place where you have the school for the young ones, and as this last caller said, who helps them? Do they have good environment where they could work? Do their parents educated enough with this modern day schooling that they have? Is this Arnold and the UNC have put all of this in place, and what happened? What happened? The only person who destroyed everything in this country for the last 9 years is that clown we call Rowley. And the people, as one of the callers said, no matter what you do, none of them would come out and march. The last march that they had when that clown used pepper spray and all of these things on them, how many people came out and supported the march? Nobody supports nothing, but everybody lie back in the thing and they say, oh, things hard. Things hard. The Venezuelans, and they come into Trinidad and they're doing what they had to do. Let me tell you something, but they work damn hard. And I would give them a job any day and pay them the right money that they're supposed to be paid. You understand? But the Trinidadian, as we say, look, the district where I'm from in Mayaro, all of them would sit on the block. From 9 o'clock in the morning, they're drinking in the bar, the Venezuelan working. So who would you give the job to? And then when they come to do a job for you, they want to charge you a pound and a crumb. The money they want to charge you, $500 a day, $600 a day. And what the work they're doing? Nothing. All they do, they go, they buy the weed, they smoke, they come back, and that's all they do. Everybody, this is the whole of Trinidad. We have lost our whole direction of our people. And the direction that we're heading in right now is the direction of nothing. Let the Venezuelan and them come, take over the jobs, and hear what? Whether they want to form a new party, as the brother said, let them form a new party and inculcate new things into the people of Trinidad and Tobago. This is Brooklyn here, signing off. Thank you.
Thank you, Brooklyn. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Brooklyn. But to remind you, the pre-budget, the UN budget consultations, gentlemen, as our good friend said, tonight, Orapooch West, that's Penal Presbyterian School, and on Friday, they're going to be in Chaguanas East at the MP's office. That is on Dyot Street Extension, Canupia. So don't forget, be a part of the UNC pre-budget consultations 2024. Yes, no excuses. No excuses.
Oh boy. Go ahead, caller. While we look to wind down, go ahead, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning, Andy.
Morning, Canada. Mr. Ramnarine, go ahead, my brother.
What I want to say is very short. What is happening in Trinidad, Trinidadians like it so. You know why they're too damn lazy? And they wouldn't get up from their laurels and march. Demand what they want. They're allowing Rowley and his government to trample all over them. That will continue happening all the time. Unless these people don't get up, open, take out the yampy from their eyes and see the bright daylight, it wouldn't get better. It's going to get worse. You give Rowley another 5 years there, and Trinidad will become worse than Haiti. People will be eating each other. You know? I know for a fact, here in Canada, if this stupid thing going on, people get up by the thousands and they go outside and march. They march from the parliament, they march from the Attorney General's office, all over the place. But in Trinidad, they get their $200 and they sit in the corner quiet. You know? So, my thing that Trinidadians have to open their eyes and wake up and get up. Get rid of Rowley and this government. Because if Rowley gets the next 5 years there, Trinidad is going to become worse than Haiti. Take it from me. I am scared to come to Trinidad. I'm a Trinidad born, grown, lived more than 40 years of my life in Trinidad. And I'm scared to come to Trinidad with a crime rate. You see? You know, Andy, I had experiences with extortion. That was caused me to leave Trinidad and run. You know? I made several reports to the police in San Fernando and nothing was done about it. You know? And this is what, because when the law is involved in crime, what do you expect? You know? Any other day what I have to say this morning, but Trinidadians, you all get up from your slumber and walk, open your eyes. That's it, Andy.
No problem, no problem. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. Next caller. Oh boy.
Good morning.
I just want to finish off these voice notes before people say they send me voice notes and we ain't gonna play. Right before we go, let me play them there.
Andy, don't forget to send Cyrus' computer number, please.
Oh.
Felix.
All right, Felix. All right, next one. Let me just run off.
And maybe, Andy, we could encourage persons to contact Cyrus to get their devices and so forth.
Yeah, let me just play all these voice notes.
Morning. Andy.
Yes.
Morning. Calvary Spirit here. You know they just come to tax people and take people money. You know the biggest criminal in Trinidad and Tobago is people who own cars. You know every time they have a big shooting, 4 people dead and thing, is roadblock. Why? Because the people who own, once you own a car, you're a criminal. Yeah, that is how it go in China because they try that thing since in man days and the crime getting worse in man days. 200 people used to die. The thing because of too much of crime. Gangsters don't need that. All you realize the thief in brand new key and thing to go and shoot you. Because they have her license sticker, it a good number plate, it don't have tint, it looking like the police vehicle. How much RAV4 were looking just like the police vehicle with tint, pull up and shoot people. How much black Jeep? You studying them all? Let me tell you something. Once you have a car, you is a criminal. You is the criminal, not the people who shooting and thing, once you own a car. So they come in for you. Bunch of...
All right, that is one. Oh boy, let me just... And the man right, the man is so right.
So right.
Yeah, because again, Mikey, we check it. All them drive-by shooting, all them robbery now, most coming in big time vehicle looking like police and thing tin down, They ain't coming like the old way before. So that's why I tell you, I don't know where they're coming with this tin thing, but as you say,
the
people white so.
If people are now professional criminals, they're going to make investments in the tools. You understand? We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, the human index, this man has made no investment in us, no investment in our future, no investment in trade, no investment in education. So the criminals now who are seriously committed to going out there and plying their trade, they're going to buy vehicles, they're going to buy devices. When you think you're safe behind your burglar proof, that's something to bend that, dismantle that, and jump through your window. These gangsters, these home invading people are now hiring young people who are flexible, who could pass through anywhere, kick down your door from inside. Come on. The inactions of the people are fueling the criminal activity and all the social ills. Staying on the sideline and just talking. What you expect? What you expect?
So true. Let me hear our next voice note there. Yes, let me play them out. Very, very quick. Oh boy. Next one.
People, another thing, like all people don't understand. The police do solve the crime. The police, when they do the the police know all the shooters, all the gang members, all the gang leaders. The thing is, the law is with a murder, no witness, no case. So you could actually, them could know that they could kill somebody in the middle of Port of Spain, and nobody wouldn't go to say they see. As long as that don't happen, the police know he's a shooter, they know he's a killer, but they cannot arrest him because nobody is saying they see. Why? Because the witness protection program was destroyed by the police. And this is a real strange country, and what the poor man say, nobody is standing up and saying nothing. You understand? How much witnesses back in the ghetto? Now, if your neighbor is a witness and them survive that program and come back out and explain to you what them went through, you think you go want to be a witness? Just the fact you seen them back in the ghetto. Because it does nothing for ghetto people who go in the witness protection program. The police, the mental of the police is that once you from the ghetto, you're a criminal too. So, that is it with the murders. And then all they wondering why these youths so bold-faced and thing. You know what has gained our belly? The prison. So the more they say lock them up, is the more belly and more venom they're coming out with. All they don't understand what's going on. All they need to speak to the people who are experiencing what's going on. Not people who just sitting down in office with a shirt and tie because they knows nothing about what's going on out there. You understand? I could tell you this because I've been part of the system. I live the life. I make the prison. I know. Your mental is totally changed. You want to be bad? Let me tell you something. It's a crime you will want to do and you're frightened until you make a jail. When you come out of jail, you have no fear. You understand? And a lot of people don't understand that. Put them in the jail. Keep packing them up in the jail. And monsters and the government know that. They know that. They know that. But guess what? All the family is lawyers. You understand? So, as the woman say, who want to stand up? It's up to all you. Trinidad and Tobago is up to all you.
Andy, I also forget to mention, you see this nonsense what's going on with Pennywise right now. Every time you go back, the price increases not by a little dollar, you know, all about $3, $5, and all them kind of mad price. The workers speaking about it, and they're saying that they're hiding the products on them, and when customers come in and they ask them for it and they realize it really going off the shelf now, they're coming out with it, but they're coming out with it with a high price, right? I don't know if I could get some head person from Pennywise, management or whatever it is, and find out what's going on there, because everything for them is that well, this going up and that going up, you know what I mean? But the workers is speaking about how it is Pennywise itself doing that for spite. So I don't know if somebody could speak to somebody concerning that, please. It's not only Pennywise, it's all over. But what I'm saying is, the groceries doing it, but they're not even doing it that regular as Pennywise. So I just drawing it to all your attention, right? Thank you very much. And it's that.
Yes. She right about that.
She right about that one, Mike?
I realize that a lot of people, a lot of these business people are so greedy, they're still trying to blame COVID. You have made back that money you lost from COVID 10 times over. Popeyes was a place before and during COVID you could get a chicken sandwich and it was real chicken. Now they're just frying the skin and sticking it between two buns. It's chicken skin. Everything is to cut back and give you less. You know why? Because this government has shown that the people have what it takes to have the capacity for anything to be allowed. Anything to be allowed. Government led that charge. That is what's going on.
That would do in the COVID too. Remember they do that in the COVID, are people taking that injection as either you walk, and the government had the business people doing that.
The bottom line is about greed. This country now is in the clutches of the essence of greed. Greed. We are being engineered everything by greed. All them business make back the money that they lost from COVID, and now they're demanding tip. They're charging your VAT, they're charging your service charge, and demanding tip. Imagine that. They ain't even giving you done. Suppose I didn't get no water. Suppose the food didn't taste good. Who I tipping? Suppose the service wasn't good. And that is what's happening in this. Everybody wanting a flesh. You know why? Because they know they could get away with it. Anyhow, I am going to be on tomorrow. I know tomorrow is not no holiday for me. Who want to
Yeah, we on tomorrow.
And I go tell you why I don't celebrate it tomorrow. I'm making it clear. I go be here tomorrow.
Nice. Same time, same place.
But gentlemen, all of this greed is also facilitated and motivated by the lack of foreign exchange. So what these people are doing now, recognizing they cannot replenish because of the lack of foreign exchange, courtesy this government, they are now doubling up and tripling up and exploiting as a consequence the ordinary consumer. So we have to factor that into the entire equation.
Of course, Lennox, you're right. I mean, you can't be a businessman and you trying to be good, paying all these taxes, all this expenditure, all this labor that you have to put out money for, and you watching people, their friends, their family, financiers, getting everything with little effort. Why? Because they write a check for a campaign, because this one working with this one to get a kickback, because somebody in the cabinet is secretly a stakeholder in the company. So that's why they're making sure they get everything. So when the government have to go out to office, you make sure you have a nice financial pillow, a parachute, because you make sure that this contractor get everything and he putting aside money for you. That is what's going on. Take your head out to the stand, people. Nobody likes you out here. We nothing, all are we nothing together if we don't have unity. We get nothing together if we don't have unity and if we are not conscious of what is taking place before us. And Andy, the ground report is out here today. Until tomorrow, let's hear the excuses again tomorrow.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Oh boy.
A corridor transformation tonight, fellas. Don't forget that. And of
Yes,
course,
yes.
if I have to take away anything from today's exercise, is the most excruciating having to accept that for the people like Mr. Porter Spain, I mean, he's totally brainwashed. He is race baiting. Why saying that someone else is race baiting? I suppose it's part and parcel of what the Latin expression refers to as non compos mentis. Yes, simply of sound mind.
And you trying to figure him out. So tell me who is worse. You trying to psychologically make an analysis of that man. That man has his job to do. He has his job to do. Whether there are murders, whether there are home invasions, whether there's missing money, whether it's dengue, whether it's dead babies, the PNM is not simply going to sidestep and let us waltz into government. Do not add your logic to this.
People, that suicidal talk that Port of Spain and they are engaged in, especially along the East-West corridor to keep the Africans in bondage. I want to tell you that is the ultimate. Suicide simply means self-death. So
nice.
You go ahead.
Let me play this last voice note that come in.
Yeah. Gentlemen, good morning. And good morning to our ground report listeners family. The election night, there was a lot of celebration in certain key areas where most of these venues live. For instance, next to me, there was blowing of horns and happiness and gaiety. Now it leads me to believe that these people who come here, they are not struggling enough. They are supporters of Maduro. And there seems to be some deal that was struck between Young, the Minister Young, the Prime Minister of this country, Delcy Rodriguez, and Maduro. For those people to come here, there seems to be some hidden agenda that we are not looking at or we haven't taken into consideration as yet. But the writing is on the wall, gentlemen. The writing is on the wall. Have a great day. Think about it.
There's more in the motor than the pestle, clearly.
Yeah, those people were celebrating because it now justifies the fact that they can stay here and legislation can be put in place to integrate them into the government system. They are celebrating their new life. What they were celebrating, how we supposed to celebrate when we get Rowley and them out of the office. They're celebrating the fact that they are more Trinbagonian than all of us now put together. We could stay here. He's there. We could stay here. And Rowley and them will ensure that we be part of their voters' bank. That is what they were celebrating.
Wow.
So true. So true. People, of course, I'm out of here. See you tomorrow. Yes. And of course, tonight, don't forget, of course, the corridor.
Right. Corridor transformation. There is no observer tonight. We'll be back on next week, Tuesday. You know, it's the last Wednesday of the month. So we'll be back on next Tuesday. But God willing, we'll be here tomorrow. Grab your coffee, sit down, and get ready for the action tomorrow at 6 a.m. Until then, be safe. And remember, he who rides alone only has room for one. I gone.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, great program. Each and every one of you that are locked on Real Media TT Facebook, Real Media TT YouTube. Those of you that are locked on Corridor Transformation and Love Lavanti on Facebook and on the Workers' Right platform. Yes, we'll be out tomorrow morning, please God. Yes, it's a holiday here in Trinidad and Tobago, but we will be out tomorrow, please God. Roma Price, a pleasant good morning to you. Now see you there, Debbie King, good morning to each and every one of you that stay locked on. Jess Cool, Kevin S, Sharon, all of you. Yes. So all I with is Davy, like Parry. Good morning too. So all of you, Alonzo, all of you, Roll, Glasgow, all of you. Brandon Daniel, Jerome Moses, each and every one of you, Carla, Mina from Princess Tongue, Louis Bird, Sharon BK, Wayne, a good morning, Alan Hercules, all of you that still lock on. Yes, we just wrap up. Grace Caesar. Just running that there to make sure and remind you all tomorrow morning, please God, we will be around. Faith, good morning to you. Thanks for finding us and let others know. S. West, want to let everybody else know. Primraj, Virginia Maraj, Dairo, D'Souza. So we are on tomorrow morning, please God. Peters, Rasta Jack. So let us know where we are. No, we're not on radio, but we have to make what we have do and work. Not so, Peters and Brown, all of you. So nice. I'm gonna just run back there to lock off things here until tomorrow morning, please God. Oh boy. Tommy Roberts. Yes. Me and all of you. Michael GP. You still are his whole morning you're there with me, boy. Sing. Good morning. Ramana Singh. Oh boy. Keith. His lucky thing is not Keith Rowley. That's so doing right. They don't Keith Rowley. They are gone one time, boy. Nicky Nick. Oh boy. Bernadette. So here it is. That's it until tomorrow morning, please God. We are out of here.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
Timothy. Right, Timothy Roberts? So I'll call it right. Laters, everybody.